I'm
You
not
just
be.
gotta move to Alaska.
Oh, I'm not moving to Alaska. No, thank you.
No, we watched it's people lived in kind of subsistence living, which is hilarious because they're talking about how they're living off the land, and then they're burning all their trash. And I was like, that's not living off the land; it's polluting it just like everywhere else,
It's
man.
polluted.
But they didn't seem to think that was polluting, and they were also like, "Oh, there's barely any deer now." I was like, "That's because there's like 100 of you living there, and you're hunting deer every fucking day." There's one guy that is on it, and he's big, massive, fat cunt, and he's been living there for years, and he's a fisherman and shit as well. And he's like, "Oh, it's really hard up here. You got to make sure your lard is stocked and stuff like that." It's like, "What's yours stocked with? Fucking Snickers bars, man." He was huge.
I was, I was thinking it was headed that direction. Like, oh.
It's
So what do
funny.
you do? Cause like I'm just gonna take some notes real quick.
Yeah, and all their cats were all pure fat as well, man. That's what struck me as something. But yeah, that was weird. And but the thing was, like, they were there, and they've got they do their own fishing, hunting, all that kind of stuff, which is great. But then, if you need a hospital, you have to travel like a few thousand miles to fucking somewhere where you can actually get seen to someone.
Or call like a helicopter that'll get there the next day.
They have a few towns spread around that have like
yeah, but it was like
centralized.
a 6 hour journey by boat in the middle of winter. It's not even viable, do you know what I mean?
No, I wouldn't live in Alaska. I'm out.
Oh, they didn't have Wi-Fi, so that no way.
So no way. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather live in the middle of the desert.
Oh no, I'd rather live somewhere cold.
Me too. I loved North Dakota because it was cold most of the time. But yeah, I couldn't go to like Alaska where there's like the nearest restaurant's like 20 miles down the road through a blizzard. No, I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, I've lived in the city my whole life. I couldn't not live in the city. I'm just too used to the convenience.
Checking that's me working, I think, now.
I can hear you, yeah.
Sorry for being late.
I tried living in like a small town and when I was working in the oil field, it was like 60 miles to the nearest major town that had like a Walmart and shit.
Uh-huh.
And I thought I was fine with it. I was like, that's fine. I'll just go once a week and get ghosted. And then like a blizzard hit one of the weeks I had to go, and I was
Yeah.
like trying to drive through and I couldn't see in front of me. And I finally got to like where we were stopped, and I was like, why are we all stopped? There was a semi and like 5 cars out and then on the ditch, and there's like frozen water. There's bodies everywhere, like literally bodies everywhere. They were like
Jesus.
putting them up in bed. I was like, yeah, I can't live outside the city. I'm moving to this major city as soon as I can. I was like, fuck that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're prepper style and you're all stocked up, wouldn't be as bad, but like you said, once the logistics break down. And that's the
Yeah,
other
because
thing,
like
you get these people that live out, and they're all like self-sufficiency and they don't need no government and all that shit until there's an emergency, and then they're like screaming and wailing about why is FEMA not here helping us.
uh,
Whole town's on fire. Where were you guys? And it's like you're supposed to look after yourself.
I thought you were self-sufficient. My bad.
It's pure privilege, and you only get that in like the richest country in the world. People are so like used to having everything that they think they can do without it.
I think that way too sometimes until I get, like I said, I get in situations and I realize, nope,
You're like,
this ain't.
no, yeah, I should actually just kind of enjoy that I'm comfortable.
Yeah, like no, this ain't for me. I'm gonna go back. And look, we've almost died multiple times. I in real life, I didn't have like a mental breakdown. Like I'd have been done.
Yeah,
Character's pessimistic enough, we don't need any more.
yeah. So you spent a week in Branch Patch. I think we covered the hunting stuff, or did we leave that until this time?
Um,
I think we left it till this time
we
because also you can't recover things and all that at the same time.
I think we did the roles though before, and we already did like added it, and we were just gonna say it was gonna be part of this. Isn't that how that worked or something? Like so we voted in, but we're not gonna get to vote now.
Yeah, I
Deal.
think he did do the role last time because that's the last row was things.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we did.
Yeah, so you stayed for the week. You've done your hunting, foraging stuff to get extra supplies for the next leg of your journey. One of you is still carrying a little chip of stone, which is talking to another one of your party members. Constantly whispering, channeling voices from the mountain. The mountain remained completely visible, it's not moved. The people in the town have remained frozen. But yeah, these were just kind of there, just recovering before you set out somewhere else. Over the course of the week, the weather, you know, wax and wane, but it's, you know, it's steadily getting colder. The skies are more overcast more often. It's very much, you know, winter hitting its stride now. Every morning, you know, there's a fresh foot of snow on the ground, and the river is increasingly like iced over. And to venture on it now is going to be even more treacherous than it was previously. But you still have your woolly rhino, don't you? He's just kind of injured.
Yeah, I have Norman. He wasn't yeah, he was injured attacking the lady, but then we stayed here for the week to get
Rest up, so he's kind
everybody's
of
health.
recovered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll be up to you guys where you want to go next.
Just looking at the journey length to where we're sort of aiming for. So we're heading further out because at Regina, that's where they said the sun was sort of heading towards. So the only out place from that bit is the last outpost. Before like no man's land, like completely everywhere. So I assume we either have to head towards the last outpost or head at least to the lake until we can find maybe somewhere, like even a small fishing bit or something to rest up at.
Yeah, I mean, I figured last outpost was your final destination, but it's more the route, the method you're going to take to get there.
Do you want to go over land or do you want to take the river? I'm sure we can find a boat here.
I think if the river will take us longer because we have to actually go through the whole lake. But if we get up towards the lake towards, we could probably find a path through across the lake maybe to get to the last outpost, but it depends how frozen it is.
Yeah, everything was kind of freezing over, so I think it would definitely depend on if the water's frozen or not.
You also can't take the rhino if you go by boat.
Yeah.
I think our best bet is we're checking the journey 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 days journey just to get to the lake itself. So if we sort of aim for that, then we could probably try to do that. The other possibility is exploring that broken ice flats, but I don't know if there's anything, if there's like quicker routes using that or not.
Well, you have heard the rumour, the legend before you left that supposedly an adventurer left a great treasure somewhere in the ice flats. And for the lake, there's also supposedly an ice castle, or an ice queen, the queen of fairies, who grants wishes and somewhere in the lake.
Okay, so chances based on our situation.
Should we go into the ice flats?
No, well, I mean, we can, I guess. It wouldn't be much more of a detour, but it would be a little bit of a detour.
Lengthwise, if you go by boat and nothing bad happens, you would get there a day quicker by boat than you would by going over land to the lake.
I'm not leaving Norman behind.
Imagine like hugging this giant rhino, his arms spread out fully around its massive body. I can't leave Norman.
I can't leave Norman. It ain't happening.
Right, well, I think avoid the broken ice flats then. I think it's an easy, obvious one. Do need technically money because I'm kind of broke. I don't know about the rest of you.
You just got a whole bunch of treasure. What do you mean you kind of broke?
Well, I need to sell it still. You can't get your debt off until you sell the treasure.
It's like draped in
Like you
gold, clink,
didn't even,
clink, clink
yeah,
when he
didn't even
moves.
share the gold. He's like, I'm gonna take all of it. He's like,
I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling a little light.
Any case, on that note, before the murder's rage kicks in, I think we're best heading at least to get close to the lake, which is about 5 days' journey doing it that way if you just walk. Well, maybe less that's because you got the rhino, so
aye, aye, Captain, let's go.
Right, give me a second, she's locked this cat in the room with me.
What's everybody's supply situation at though?
I've got 5 supplies left.
Let me check. I've got 3 supplies left. Or would I have gotten more than that back first after we rolled?
Well, it looks like he got 7, and then I thought you guys shared it between yourselves.
I think he got
Yeah, I'm sure.
6 because it was
Oh.
best of the 2, I believe.
Oh, best of the 2. Okay, so 6. I know I didn't get any because I was already pretty low. Like, not low. Like, I didn't have that many ticks on my chart.
I think I might have gotten 3 already then, because you said you were at 2. So
So we're going by foot with the rhino.
The Vino was like the maximum day. What, 3 days or 4 days?
I
Can't
believe I
remember.
said before the rhino didn't really make you go faster. It just meant you
No,
weren't.
no. How many supplies? Like the least amount of, like he had. I think he only has 3 days worth of supplies.
Yeah, so you would just start taking colder fatigue instead of marking off supplies at that point, which may or may not actually matter depending how the journey goes.
All right. Well, from here to last outpost is what, an 8-day journey.
Well, if you're just going to the lake edge to break it up, it would be the 5 days.
All right, 5 days then.
I think the best thing to head to the lake edge, because then after we can decide what's the best route to go from there.
Yeah, because you can stop at the lake edge and then hunt and fish and forage to resupply to go the next leg.
So we're not fresh. The destination is known. I would think, suppose.
I mean, we have a map, but have we gone there by ourselves yet? Or, I mean, has your character been there before?
No, but hopefully we can just follow the river, right? 1, 2, 3. It would still be 5 days.
Oh, I mean, if you follow the river, I think it would.
I think he means going west to the river and then just following the river to the lake.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, east to the river.
I mean, I'd say the route's unknown because you don't know the exact route if you're just heading out east. If you're to follow the river, it would be a longer journey because you'd have to go down and around. So I don't think
No,
that's...
no. Like we would just cut across to the river from where we're at, and then.
Yeah,
follow
yeah,
it,
yeah.
right?
As long as you don't get lost on the way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so not known.
So you're fresh if nobody's
No.
injured, I believe.
I don't think we're fresh because people don't have supply ticks.
That means we're not prepared.
Yeah, that's prepared.
Oh, okay.
All I have is debt now.
Fresh is like fatigue or health, I believe.
Oh, gotcha.
I could just scroll up, read what I've written. Computer hear somebody's phone buzzing. Fresh, if all your status clocks are clear. But you're not going to have that because someone's got their debt marked up.
Oh yeah, I got debt too. So
So not fresh. Are your supplies all maxed out?
I have 5 out of 6 available.
Okay, so you're not prepared. Do you want to get an extra dice by travelling overnight?
What was that, dude? Like,
you take a cold.
extra fatigue?
You'll take a
Oh,
cold.
okay. That'd be fine with me. Take it.
Go for it.
So everyone,
Sure.
Yep, so everyone takes a cold. That'll give you an extra dice. That will negate the route being unknown. It's not particularly treacherous. It is more than a day, so you'll lose the dice, which is your free dice. And then it's if you want to push yourself by taking extra fatigue.
So if I don't push myself, it's 5 dice. If I do, it's 6 dice.
Completely.
I
up to
don't.
you.
I think we should save the fatigue in case we run into something when we get there.
I'd say the same, yeah.
Okay, so-
What worse can go wrong for 6 dice as to 5 dice for yourself?
You really want to know that question? Do you really want to know?
Have you not been playing this game with us?
Could one of us roll instead of Draken now?
Too late. I done did it.
Oh, full success.
Oh, I see, it worked.
Uh,
See my faith. I have faith in your rules.
That's the first time for everything, I guess.
Yes.
At least one of us does.
5 days. I imagine he's had the sled that he's found as well that you can tie on the back of the rhino.
Oh yeah.
So maybe
Oh, yeah.
that helps out as well. I should maybe give you a dice for that too. Yeah, actually roll another dice for her.
D6 coming up.
Yeah, it didn't make a difference. Yes, but you know, Norman does the majority of the work. Although the weather's coming down heavier and heavier, you know, you've actually got this big massive rhino to use as a windbreaker the entire time that you're making camp as well. which I imagine is useful. You're eventually able to find the river's edge and then follow that for the last couple of days to the shore of the lake. The lake itself is by this point completely frozen over. You can see like the shape of a landmass across in the mist, signifying some sort of island lying out in the water. But you can see mountains off down to the south, which would probably make going that route quite laborious. Yeah, but you get to the water's edge and you can see, this massive frozen lake, which even if you're going straight across the lake on the ice, that'd be a couple of days walking across potentially very treacherous ice. You have heard the legends about snow queens and fairies and stuff granting wishes, but that's very likely fanciful. But there is, however, an island. You can see a landmass that's definitely like sticking out further out across the ice, which itself will have a kind of like thin layer of mist over it at all times.
I think we need to make camp or do some hunting at least anyway to get supplies, since we used all our supplies for the journey.
Oh yeah, remember everyone took a fatigue for the journey, as well as
Yes.
marking off supplies for each day.
And if we run out of supplies, we mark a cold or a fatigue.
Yes.
So what happens when the supplies gets full? Is that a health tick too, or no?
When it fills up, yes. Sorry, no.
I thought it just meant we don't have supplies now. We just have to get more.
Sorry, I'm saying that. It's not though, is it? Because it's not under your status clocks.
Okay, so it's just full, and then anything over that is fatigue and cold. Gotcha.
Treasure, gear, and supplies do not affect your health.
Gotcha.
The rest of them are under status clocks. Those ones affect your health.
Is that where we are now?
Yes, that's sure. Unless you want to be on the other side of the river. I imagine you wouldn't be.
Over here?
No. I mean, just south of it.
We just follow the river and end up back at Beaver Dam.
Oh, this is really easy going.
Just going the wrong way, but it's easy going.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd rolled poorly and got lost, that could have happened. But yes, you're here, and I guess you're going to make camp.
I'll
Okay.
go some hunting. To the hunt.
Make camp.
Well, you usually want to make camp before you hunt, because if you make camp successfully, you'll get an extra dice.
There's no negatives I need to take into account. So I'll get does sharp eye still count for this? Like making camp?
For making camp, yeah, because you're looking out for dangers and stuff.
Okay. Don't count on me rolling anything successful ever again the rest of this campaign. I got 2 successes back to back like that.
So off the bat, everyone can get an extra rest, relax, or reheat, which is restoring a stress, a fatigue, or a cold just automatically off the bat, because it's such a comfortable place to make camp.
Alright.
You'll successfully make camp, so anyone who wants to mark a supplies off here, that will affect your stress, fatigue, and your cold. So instead of just restoring fatigue, it restores one of each of those.
Can I go hunting first?
Yeah, I think we have to go hunting at this
Yeah,
point.
of course you can, and you'll get an extra dice for it.
Alright, how iced over is the lake?
Completely iced over, so you'd be like ice fishing if you were doing fishing. It will definitely like support your weight several meters, like 20 feet out easily. Beyond that, you might be risking it.
What should we do?
Well, if you're a forager, you can forage. If you've got
I've got
fishing, you can
hunt, let's
fish.
go,
And
just-
if you're a hunter, you can hunt, yeah.
I got no applicable skills.
Just checking that. I get 7 dice for hunting this time.
I'll help you by turning into a badger.
So 8 dice then.
8 dice, yes. That's a lot of 6s.
Jesus Christ.
Does that like fill our whole entire supplies?
Yeah, he's
Everybody.
he's also not going to fucking make any
Yeah,
more
you're not
successes
making
today.
any. We better not get in combat.
Bye bye headshots.
Yeah, I think you could probably restock everybody's supplies fully with that. There's like herds of deer roaming around here. There's forest lands. There's lots of moss on the rocks. There's lots of kind of birds in the trees, hawks and stuff like that. There's plenty of wildlife to hunt, so yeah, it is plentiful.
Every time he turns around, he's just shooting something different.
Well, actually, he's in hindsight. He gets to shoot everything in one shot and hunt it all down. Says, "There's a headshot. There's a headshot. There's a headshot."
Yeah, considering it's winter, it is really bountiful here. Like the place is just booming with life, and you can see the fish under the ice. You know, the trees are those evergreen firs, and they're just full of like squirrels and pine martens and such.
I'm gonna start like drawing a little sketch of a house. I'm gonna build it right here.
Like,
This is
yeah,
gonna
I
be
mean,
my
this would
retirement
be
house.
a beautiful, perfect place for someone to live. And it seems a little strange that there isn't like a village or a town here, because it's an ideal spot right on the mouth of the river into the lake.
Huh. I wonder what's wrong with it.
Don't jinx it.
Yeah, but your hunter comes back and, you know, probably like 2 deer carcasses and cuts it up, and it's plenty enough for all of you.
So in the morning, we're ready to head out to go. What we plan to do next.
Well, last outpost is our end goal. I guess anything in between we want to hit up, now would be the time.
Yeah, we can either explore the lake, or we can explore the ice flats.
Go through the lake. There's an island in the middle, so if there's any issue of travel, we could end up being there. If we're going through the water, if we could go through, like, walk around the lake, like avoiding going on top of it, it's about 5 days. I think 1, 2, 3, but 4 to 5 days could be to walk it.
I think 3 days to
Um,
go around the north side to the last outpost.
yeah, if we go around the north side, that also means going through like broken ice flames potentially and such. If we go across the river though, it's literally a day and a half.
2 days. Going across,
Yeah,
there's
but
2 hexes.
yeah, we don't know if it'll
Uh,
support
two
our weight
days.
all the way across.
I'll be fine. Don't worry.
Yes, I was worried about you, of course.
Well, I mean, you look in Norman, the massive
Yeah,
bully rhino.
yeah, that's what I was looking at. That's who I was worried about.
Because Ellen can make some boat thing alive, he can carry Norman.
If you're willing to spend the time here, you could cut down some trees and carve out a canoe or something.
But would that matter? He's just frozen over, so like we would just be walking until we fell through, yeah? Or would we eventually get to where
Well,
it's
I mean, it
thinner?
could be something you could drag along, and if you came across a bit that was thinner, you would have a flotation device.
Huh? That works for me.
I don't know, I'm just spitballing. But if you didn't want to go across the island you can see, you would have to go around it as well.
There could be treasure on the island.
I do saying Ellen make something to life, some sort of tree thing, and have it walk across the lake. And if it survives, we know it's safe to go across. If it falls through, then we know it's a dangerous bit.
Why'd you have to
So
give
what
him
we-
these ideas?
So what, we just like walk like 100 yards behind it and see if it falls through, we know to stop.
I'm not risking my own life. I may as well risk manage how many units of creatures he's created so far.
You know what? I'm totally okay with that. I'll make a canoe. He can chop down a tree, make him a little stick man, whatever.
All right, I'm going to chop down I'll help him chop down a tree, and can I use survivalist to start carving it?
Survivalist would probably be a good skill for it, yes. You're going to have to spend a gear for the axe, obviously.
All right, I'll use a gear.
I just realised since we made camps, anyone want to do their story or anything? I think I've got 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, you can tell a tale,
4,
yeah.
5. I've got 5 just now, so I'm not sure if anyone else is what level anyone else is at.
I also have 5.
I think did I do one last time?
Just count how many you have.
I have 4, but I thought I had more than that. Or five traits, or
Yeah, I have 5
traits.
traits.
yeah, I have 5 traits.
So anyone can do one. Anyone's got one.
You don't have to do it.
I think I'm good. I don't think I want any more traits, to be honest.
Maybe leave it now, yeah. Give time to think about the next one. But I thought I'd just bring it up in case anyone's like up down a trait compared to those all.
Totally.
Like if Norman died, I might go get another one.
It's where did you fail? When Norman died!
When Norman died, yes, I let him down.
But yes, you guys can hear the echo from the axe as he chops down the tree. You can hear it crashing. When it does crash, as well as the sound of it falling, the crack and the thud as it hits the snow, there's also this kind of wave of soft singing. It sounds like it just kind of washes over and past you as the tree falls. But the trees fell, and from it you're able to extract enough good wood that you can use to craft whatever you want from it, really.
I want to make a
I'm gonna make a canoe, and he's gonna make whatever creature he wants.
I'm gonna make a tree wolf.
As long
So-
as it's heavy.
Are you thinking like a totem or something?
Just like a facsimile of a wolf, and just get as much moss and leaves as I can from the tree, or pine needles, I guess.
Okay, so almost like a giant toy wooden wolf sort of thing.
Sure.
I'm just trying to visualize what it is you're expressing.
I put a picture in the Discord.
Oh, okay.
Just more.
Okay,
More
so
winter.
cruder than what I was talking about, yeah. Sure, that works, okay. Yeah, you basically sculpt a wolf and then cover it in moss and stuff. Okay, do you want to give me the reanimation roll?
All right, let's try to bring it back to life. Would any of my traits help with it?
What do you have again? Cam won't, I know that.
Calm, curious, foolhardy, and cunning, and wizard sight.
I think your wizard sight will come into play. This area definitely has an increased level of mana around it.
Something doesn't like that we cut down a tree.
Yes, you conduct your ritual. Your wolf is reanimated and brought to life. But as you're casting the ritual, you can feel the eyes of the forest on you. They're numerous and hidden. There's definitely spirits active in this area of some form. They might be spirits of ancestors, they might be natural spirits, nymphs, fairies, fae type creatures. But they definitely notice you when you're conducting this ritual. And they are not happy. They don't make themselves physically known or present, but you can just sense in the manosphere around you the vibrations of they don't like your magic, they don't like your presence, they're not happy that you're here cutting down trees and conducting what might be considered unnatural magic.
Am I a tree necromancer? I brought the tree back to life.
Which one of you is carrying the little moonstone?
Me.
Can
So-
I just say that I don't know either one of these people?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, Runic won't be aware of it, but Eldon, you're also aware that there's an energy radiating from that moonstone, and it is also causing discomfort to the spirits that inhabit this area. But you do have your reanimated tree wolf.
Is his tree wolf, if I could look at it, would it be competitive in weight to Norman, or do I need to add some rocks to this thing?
Oh, Norman's definitely heavier than that thing. Even if it's solid wood, Norman is a big boy.
Yeah, so I think I'm just gonna start attaching some rocks to your wolf. I need him way more before I'm confident.
Oh no, I mean if anything, he's gonna fall through it. Norman's gonna fall through a lot faster anyway. I'm just gonna jump on his back and start heading somewhere. I guess I don't know.
Well, I'm using your wolf as sacrificial bait. He's gonna walk out in front of us. That's my goal plan. So I need
Yeah,
him to
that's
weigh
the
a
plan.
lot more. I need him to weigh a lot more.
So is the plan just to set out across the ice then once you're ready?
Yeah. Once he's ready. So I got the canoe as a backup plan. The wharf is the first plan,
So you've got a
and then we'll.
canoe being dragged presumably by the rhino, because that'd be the
Yep.
easiest way to move that. Runic, are you like sitting in the canoe just getting pulled along?
Basically, yeah.
Okay, so your
We're
job
having a
Nah.
is
full bar ready in case
So-
anything comes at us.
yeah, and if the
And
rest
I'll
of
be
them fall
riding
in the
Norman.
water, your job's to like fish them out.
I'll ride Norman. So I'm
Exactly.
pretty sure if I fall in the water, I might not drown, but I'll probably die of hypothermia or something anyways.
Okay, and is Eldon going out in front with his wolf then?
I'm trying to think of any animals that would work. That would be able to survive in really cold water.
Well, I
But
mean, you
also
could always do what you did before and just turn into like a fish if it actually happens.
Or you'd be a penguin.
I suppose we'd probably seen penguins at this point, right? Or
Or
something similar.
The,
You've-
the
you've-
equivalent.
You've definitely not seen penguins. What are
The
you talking
equivalent.
about?
There's got to be some kind of ice bird around here.
Oh, I mean, yeah, in the first stuff I said there was hawks and stuff like that, so you could definitely turn into something like that.
All right, sure. I'll turn into one of these. I'll turn into a hawk or something. Just sit on top of the wolf.
Okay, give me a roll for that then before you set out.
I guess since we're still in the camp, I get the extra roll still.
If you want to, sure. Yes, you stretch out your arms and summon the magical power into you. You expect to start growing feathers and to shrink, such a change form. But as you stretch out your hands to allow yourself to be enveloped in the magical energy, the manosphere around you turns on you in a violent way. Leaves start to like whip up in the wind around you and start to like strike you with force, taking injury.
Oh, I think we stayed past our open, guys.
For the rest of you, it feels like the area around you came alive. The forest is like moving and breathing. The animals are like agitated and squealing and roaring and bleating. The birds in the trees like take off and start to circle around you. They start taking turns like dive bombing you and pecking and hassling you. Stags come out of the woods and start to like get aggressive and rear up and stamping their hoofs on the ground, waving their antlers around. What do you just want to do?
Move off to the lake. Let's go.
I think I'm gonna have to like control Norman, make sure he don't like take that as a challenge. Then yeah, try to get him on the lake.
So you just set out towards the lake.
Yeah, just like
Yep.
just hop up on Norman and just tell your wolf to run up ahead of us.
I'm just gonna calmly walk over to the wolf and just hop on and say, "Fine, I'm leaving."
Okay, ride the wolf.
Someone is going to lose. Actually, each of you will lose one supply as you abandon your camp in a rush.
Sons of bitches.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a stampede, but it's like an orchestrated movement of animals just, pushing you out towards the ice onto it. And you take your first, like, type of steps onto it. The first step of Norman, there's just like a soft kind of groaning of ice as it takes his weight. And he very slowly and cautiously makes his way onto the ice. He's not happy about going on to this. Do you want to give me a roll?
Yeah.
Because I imagine every like instinct in his body is telling him this is a bad idea.
Let me look at my skill real quick. 5 4. Okay.
Well, you got Beastmaster, didn't you?
Oh, you want to do Beastmaster? Yeah.
Yeah, because it's about control.
So that would be 2 dice instead.
Okay, yeah, you're able to like, push your will onto him and push him onwards onto the ice, and he steps out across, taking his time, dragging Runic and the canoe behind him, and you step out onto the ice.
He takes as long as he wants.
You step out
Yeah.
onto the ice, and the wind dies down immediately. There's just a still mist all around you. There's visibility through it, but it exists. It's there, just hanging above the ice. It's very calm and quiet here. Just the sound of the creaking, groaning ice underneath you. And you can see in the distance the lump, the shape, the outline of the island in front of you. So are you going to go around it on the ice, or are you heading towards the island?
The wind died down like as soon as we got on the lake.
Yes.
I kind of want to just turn around and go back.
Can I see how much
just
like magic is on the island? Or is there visible magic around the island?
Do you have like a perception skill thing?
I have wizard sight, so I can just see magic and spirits and stuff.
Yeah, you can roll 2 dice with your wizard sight. It is definitely a source of magic, yes. Attuned to the same type of mana that was affecting the forest that you just left. Or the shoreline you just left. It is definitely a kind of like focal point for it.
I don't think we should turn around. It's too dangerous back there. Let's head to the island and make up our mind there.
Let's get to shore, yeah. Let's head to the island.
It's probably safer there anyway.
Let's go.
Well, Eldon's out in front, so do you want to make the journey roll for us?
Him or me?
Him, because he's out in front.
Go for it, buddy.
Alright. Do any of my skills work for that?
Pathfinder, Survivalist,
I have survivalist.
that'll do.
Alright. Which one of my traits would make it worse? Foolhardy or curious?
I think Curious works against you. Foolhardy would work against you. Keeping calm over the ice might help, so I guess they just kind of cancel each other out.
Alright, let's see.
And remember, you can push yourself if you want the extra dice as well. Okay, I'll let you choose here. Do you step on an extremely thin bit of ice that you start to fall through, or is it enough to take your weight, but not enough for Norman?
Give me a second.
You son of a bitch.
No, sorry, I was making sure my fatigue and stuff was all caught up.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's either you're going to like fall through because it's that thin, or it's just, can hold your weight, but when Norman steps on it, he's going to fall through.
Alright, pick odds or evens.
Odds.
Chicken leaving up to dice roll.
Alright, sorry.
What do you mean? I got odds. You said pick.
Oh,
I picked
yeah,
odds.
okay. Okay, I fall through.
It's a loaded dice. It says 17, but really it's 16.
Well, you know how it is. Odds you win, or no, odds I win, or evens you lose.
Yeah, odds I win, evens you lose.
No, but the wolf will fall through the ice.
Yes, the wolf falls through the ice. You're going to take a cold. No, actually, everyone should mark an extra fatigue or cold. But I'm going to say thematically you would take a cold because your wolf is the one that falls into the ice. It can maybe scrabble itself out again, but you're going to get covered in frozen water when it does so.
We marked the fatigue just for the journey roll. We marked the cold because of that. What happened? Gotcha.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, I mean, it's not that long a journey. It's quarter of a day, so we're talking a couple hours of just taking your time slowly across it before you reach land.
Yeah, I imagine if the wolf just shook off the rocks that was tied to it, it would just float. So
Yeah, I mean, the wolf itself probably isn't too badly affected. It's just because you get dunked in the water, it's freezing you. But you arrive on the island, and the mist is thin, and it didn't seem to block your visibility at all while you were traveling. And then once you get on the island, you realise there's a lot in this island that you couldn't see from a distance. And the most obvious thing is this enormous, it looks maybe a statue, or maybe it's another frozen figure, towering above you, high into the sky. It's maybe 50 feet tall.
and I'm guessing it's just like sending out waves of magic.
It seems to be covered in mana. It's enveloped in it. The island itself seems far larger than what you would assumed from what you could see from the shoreline. There seems to be slopes and hills. There seems to be like gulfs and valleys. It stretches on, you know, much further than you would imagined.
Right, let's tally ho through this island. Let's go.
How close is the statue?
Half a mile or so, probably.
All right, let's go. I'll just keep leading the way.
Is there anything else on the island? Just the statue? Like any other like
Oh, like
signs of life
hills,
or
slopes, oh, you signs of life. There's
Yeah.
no buildings or anything like that. No signs of civilization. No roads. No campsites.
just a random ass statue?
Yep, and we're walking right towards it.
Hi ho, hi ho. So off to the statue we go.
Let's go.
You stretch across. You find the snow is up to your waist. Well, that's not really a problem for Norman, but for the rest of you, you know, it would be like wading. Are you still pulling the canoe at this point?
I'm assuming what's his face is probably still in the canoe, and yeah, Norman would still just be pulling it.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm still on top of the wolf.
Yes,
I
I
my
mean,
arrows in case anything gets me from the canoe.
yeah, I mean, I guess you'd be glad that you actually have your mounts at this point because it's able to trudge through the snow at a rate that's acceptable. Otherwise, this would be extremely hard going, especially when you start to ascend the slopes to get up and around past this massive towering thing. And as you approach it, it seems less and less likely that this is a statue of some sort. It seems to be a giant that has been frozen in time here, very similar to what you saw previously at the Branch Patch Village. What could have caused such a huge creature to be frozen like this? Why it doesn't thaw out in the summer, you don't know.
You know, I have a more pressing concern on my mind.
As you crest the hills and look down at the massive valley below, something is clearly wrong here. You can't even see the other shoreline of this island. You can't see the shoreline of the lake or the ice at all. All you see is rolling hills and fields and valleys in front of you, all of them covered in snow in winter. And it just seems to go on and on and on. And far off in the distance, looks as if the silhouette of a structure of some kind, perhaps a castle.
We didn't make it all the way across in one go, did we?
What do you mean? We're still at the shoreline.
No, like across the lake. Like, are we on the other side of the lake already?
No.
No. We're on the island in the middle of it. The one that's rumoured to have many stories. Some say it's witches, some say it's fairies. I'll have to roll my lore master, see if I can remember anything else particular.
Sure. Remember, don't take fatigue for Lore Master.
2, I've got, so 3 dice.
Yeah, I mean, this matches some of the stories you've heard about it being some sort of like land of the Fae, supposedly ruled by like a snow queen, fairy queen that would grant wishes.
If it's true about these stories and granting wishes, our quest could be over. We could ask to find the children, get back. I could bring back my own child. No, forget that. No.
Isn't that what got you in trouble in the first place?
Ah,
Yeah, but something's not right here, or like everyone would be coming here.
Can I see if the statue is still alive under the ice?
Sure, give me this roll.
I guess that would be wizard sight or curious.
Yeah, I mean, either one. It's definitely the same as the ones you saw in Branch Patch, so whether you count them as alive or not. But, I mean, given what you experienced, you know that they still had thoughts, even though they were frozen. So this thing is definitely in a state where it could be brought back to life.
See, this was my main concern of this statue.
I want to touch it.
See, there you go. He's like, can I bring it back to life?
Touch it, and its skin is like ice cold, frozen.
But when I touch it, can I hear its thoughts like the other statues?
No, it's not linked to them in the same way.
All right. How bad is the storm?
There's no storm. It's quite tranquil and serene. But you do hear that little voice from the moonstone whispering to you about offering sacrifices and what a great sacrifice something like this could be.
My thoughts exactly.
He says out loud, and everyone else wonders what he's talking about.
I'm gonna pull out my knife and just stab my hand and just start wiping it on the statue or on like the leg of it or something.
Just
Or
smearing blood across it.
yeah, I want to offer it as a sacrifice.
Now, we determined that you knew the ritual of sacrifice now, didn't you? You took that as a
Yeah.
skill. Okay, do you want to roll that?
I'm guessing this would be foolhardy.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Which works against you, so you get one less dice.
All right, I guess I'll use an extra fatigue.
Are you taking XP for all the trait ones you're doing?
Yeah.
Yes, you cut your hand, you smear blood across the things. I mean, I guess it's like its toe or something, as though you can reach. And as you do so, where the blood has touched it, the ice, the frost that's formed on its skin begins to melt. And that slowly starts to spread out across the entirety of its foot, and then up its ankle and up its leg.
I'm leaving.
A huge icicle falls off of its knee as the heat transference like starts to melt the binding. Taking injury as this falling ice lands and smacks you on the head.
I'm gonna use shield.
Oh, okay. Give me a roll. Okay, take a cold or a stress instead.
All right, I'll take a cold.
Yes, icicles and frost start to like fall as the heat spreads out across this thing's body, starting to bring it back to life.
Yep, me and Norman are heading away from it at due haste.
Do you want to give me a rider roll? See if you can like outpace it.
This is why I did.
You'll,
Jesus Christ.
You'll have one dice less because that is going to be difficult.
That's fine. Would any traits help me here?
Do you have anything
Jade-
else with your riding?
Or either jaded or quick-witted, maybe?
Probably quick-witted, because as soon as you see him cutting his hand, you're like, nope.
Okay, so
I know what's happening here. Oh my god. Yes,
Yes.
you were out there before he's even like splashed his blood on it. You just like whip the back of Norman. He like and takes off at full speed down the slope into the valley. The Runic and the canoe behind you just kind of bumping up and down. Runic, you're having to hold on for dear life because he's going at such speed.
As you run away, you just hear wild cackling, and just someone shouting that they did it.
You might turn around either Runic or Evander, and you can just see this thing slowly start to like move its arm and like unfurl its fingers and stretch.
Ready to aim for the eyeball.
I told you we should have killed him. We should have killed him back in the cave.
I'm aiming for Eldon, I told you that.
Eldon, you turn around and they are like gone. They are like a speck in the distance.
I wonder where they went.
This massive thing slowly like thaws out, stretches its arms, twists its head around, and lets out a huge yawn as it starts to like pull itself up off of the mountain that it sat on. This massive towering giant, 100 feet high. What do you want to do?
I want to shout up at it and say, good morning.
I mean, even at that distance, it's gonna have difficulty even like hearing you. It seems to be like just like coming out of a deep sleep. It's like looking around and rubbing its eyes and obviously trying to figure out what's going on. But if you wanted to give it a speech of some sort, you are the orator.
Alright, I guess I'll have to turn into a bird and go land on its shoulder first. But I feel like that's a bad idea.
Well, I mean, you're an orator, so maybe you could like be all good. Your voice would get because it's kind of part of the
Yeah.
job too.
Alright, sure. I'll just try to shout at it from the ground.
Sure. What are you trying to like convey to it?
Oh, great giant trapped in the ice. I've freed you from your prison, something, something. And we ask for your aid to escape this treacherous plain of snow.
Okay, so you want to ask for its aid, basically, because you've freed it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
give me the orator roll.
Alright, would calm work for this? Or would it be more foolhardy?
Foolhardy, but you can use it to your advantage, I think.
Do I take fatigue from talking?
For orator, no, I don't think so. That wouldn't make any sense.
That reminds me, I need to put fatigue down for the fight a little.
Yes, you cup your hands around your mouth and start yelling at the top of your lungs upwards. And the thing is like woken up enough now that it seems to be cognizant and hear what you're saying. And it looks down towards you and then it squats down so it can get closer to hear you. And then it lets out a massive bellowing voice. You have rescued me?
Yes, we found you trapped in this endless plain of ice and snow.
With one of its massive hands, it like puts its palm down, opened up in front of you, inviting you to step onto it.
Of course, Ellen is just gonna step onto it.
Yeah, it lifts you up to like eye level so you can like see and hear you better. What do I owe thee for such aid?
I ask for your great wisdom and your help in escaping this place.
It nods as if it's agreeing with you. This place, this enchanted place, I shouldn't be here.
I don't think anyone should be here. I think it's a curse set on this island by fairies or witches.
You can see like a troubling look in his brow as it kind of like furrows it, and it growls almost. Fairies, yes. One of them led me here, tricked me, and left me encased in ice.
Yes, we were just chased out of a forest on the other side of the lake by fairies and their forest monsters.
Yes. Come with me, little one. We shall avenge ourselves.
Excellent. Excellent.
He
He's
like
just
lifts you,
steeped in
yeah,
his
he like
prayers.
lifts you up so you can like step onto his shoulder and like cling onto his long beard.
All right. Well, let's see what happens now.
With a huge, slow, thunderous step, it moves forward. The ground trembles, and you guys who have been running full pelt, stampede style, away from it, you can feel the tremble in the ground, and you turn around and you can see this massive giant has awoken, is standing fully up, and is walking towards you.
I'm guessing it's too tall for them to see me on its shoulder.
Oh yeah, they probably can't see you from this distance.
Oh wait, no, they're both sharp-eyed though.
I don't. Well, maybe.
Are you both
I don't think
sharp-eyed? Like, you can maybe just see this little speck on his shoulder, and you're like, "Good God, that's not him."
I think with our experience, that'd be good. God, that is him.
Exactly what I was going to say.
So, is there? I mean, you guys just ran away in the opposite direction. You can see, hills and mountains and valleys and such, and the castle. Is there any? Are you heading towards the castle?
Now that he's moving, I think I want to like judge what directions he's headed in and not be in his way.
He's definitely going straight for the castle.
Yeah, so I would like keep a distance between him and the castle just to see what happens.
So the castle's kind of like at the head of the valley. You guys are just going to kind of go into like the slopes to try and like get out of its way then.
Yeah.
Sure.
Do I see them on the ground?
You can see them, yeah. They stand out against the white of the landscape, I think. Especially the rhino because it's larger. And it's just like crunch, shake, and then like another second later, crunch, shake. So the giant slowly makes its way across the valley.
Oh, great giant! There's my allies. They're maybe they can help us in seeking your vengeance.
Turns its grey head, is it allies? And it looks down and it sees the rhino. It says, hungry.
Oops.
Jesus fuck.
User there
But
sat on Norman as this thing like starts to lean down with one hand outstretched towards you.
But wouldn't it be better to save your appetite for when we feast on the blood and bones of our fairy foes?
You give me another orator roll to try and direct him in another way.
No, he's hungry now.
You can hear his stomach rumbling like thunder as he reaches down with his massive hand aimed towards Norman.
Yes, be up to me for evasive maneuvers now.
Yeah, so it'd be a rider roll if you want to just escape it. You can have an extra dice though, since you did so many crits before to run away.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
Because I imagine Norman is naturally inclined to run away from this thing as well.
I would be too. I don't blame him.
Do you want to lose... roll a d4 here. Lose 1 gear. As he like comes down to like snatch and you're tearing off as fast as you can. Well, actually, I'll give you a choice. You can lose the gear or you can leave the canoe behind.
I would lose a gear. I got gear to spare.
Yeah, you take off again full speed, dropping like some of the gear off the rhino as you go, and you take off a sort of gap between the hills and mountains of the valley off to the side, out of the way. And this giant is like, it's big, but it's very slow moving. And it's just kind of like misses as you like guys escape through the grasp of its fingers and take off between the mountains. He lets out a low, long kind of growl of frustration, and you can hear his stomach like rumbling again like thunder. It's like, "Ugh. Hungry now."
We're almost at the castle. Don't worry. I'm sure there's plenty to feast on inside.
You can see him like looking left and right to try and see if you can spy more creatures that he might be able to devour.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna go stand on his like behind his head, like holding onto his hair, so he doesn't see me.
Yeah. I mean, you're still small. Maybe you're not even worth a snack, but the rhino is like a bit more substantial.
Am I small enough that he would notice me drawing things on him?
I mean, he might feel it. Probably not, but he might feel it. Depends how sensitive his skin's at that point.
I'm gonna start drawing a ritual circle on the back of his head.
Did you want to say something, Drag?
I was just gonna tell Vunic, like, I told you he was gonna try and kill us. We should have killed him first.
Still looking for the shot for his head. Still.
Because, like, as far as I know, he literally just woke this giant up and then it tried to kill me. So now he's trying to kill me in my head.
Sure, you start like etching a circle in its back as the thing gets up from its squatted position and sets off. In another 8 strides or so, it's going to be at the castle at the end of the valley. And you can see this massive frozen structure encased in ice. It looks completely devoid of life. But there is an air of magic. The ice kind of like just like glistens and twinkles in the daylight. The thing is just like an air of like majesty about it. And as the giant approaches, you can see his breath on the wind as it's getting colder. You can see the frost forming around the edges of his hair and his eyelashes. But undeterred, the giant continues forward until it's right up against the castle. and it clasps both of its hands together and starts to raise it up above its head.
Alright, this is when I want to try to cast my ritual. It has to be in the perfect pose as a statue.
Okay.
You're posing it now?
Yeah, of course.
Well,
I'm going to use an extra fatigue and I'm going to try to sacrifice it again.
right, okay.
Which one of my traits would work for this?
Foolhardy. This is the dumbest idea ever. Okay, right at the pinnacle when it's got its arms high up above its head and it starts to let out a long roar with its massive open mouth. You like stab your knife into the middle of the circle and twist, drawing some blood, and the whole creature begins to just melt, fade away, dissipate. You find yourself like scrabbling. It's like a waterfall of flesh and blood around you as the thing lets out a long, anguished howl, which causes the entire island to just like shake. You're having to cover your ears. And for you guys that are way back on the other side of the other valley, you can see the ice kind of like cracking and shaking from the sound of it as it lets out this massive just scream of agony as he just turns into this puddle of gore.
Oh, the great lurker beneath the ice has accepted my sacrifice.
You're going to take an injury from the fall, definitely, but all of your fatigue is going to be restored. And as you're like fall into this massive pile of like gore at the bottom, even the bones will be like melted away, and you're just like caked in the blood and the flesh of this thing. But you feel refreshed, invigorated. You look up to the sky and the clouds part, and you can see this massive red eye staring down at you, a kind of reptilian eye. And you just feel as if you've been blessed.
Well, I guess I know what trait I need to get next. Well, let's go see what's in the castle.
Looking at Evander. Should I shoot him now?
Just kill him. Kill him now.
You two, manager, you can see the wind picking up. You can hear the hills themselves kind of letting out moans of pain. The wind picks up and you can see like a whirlwind, a tornado of snow and ice picking up around the castle and around the area where that giant just fell.
Like, we'll run to the castle now.
Oh my god. Listen, I don't think I've ever tried to actually kill a player before, but I think I'm gonna start plotting it. It's happening.
Oh, I thought you guys were already planning on it.
Oh, but it's happening. I'm plotting it now. I've never tried it before, but
It'll be
happening.
fun.
Roll a D. I'm going to randomly roll a D6 at times, and it'll decide what we're going to do.
So you can blame the dice. It's its fault, not your fault. You decided to kill him.
Well,
You'll
all
have
the all the times he goes after you guys are just accidents. Like the time the house almost fell on top of you, or the time the giant almost ate your rhino.
See, like everything that happens, it's okay as long as I feel like you're not gonna sacrifice me or kill me. But then I just watched you do that to a giant, and now I know I'm no longer safe.
That's fair.
You know, there was like a mad cackle, and then like we ran away, and then you just sacrifice. Yeah, I no longer feel safe within your presence, so you gotta go.
Yeah, I feel like rituals are a slippery slope.
And I'm jaded, so I'm already like distrusting of people.
So what is it you guys actually do then?
Well, the storm's picking up here, so we need to go to inside the castle. Try and get some sort of shelter from it.
So the tornado of ice and snow is happening around the castle.
Yeah, I think I want to keep my distance.
Right, so it's around the castle. Okay.
Am I already on the other side, in the inside of it? Or am I
Well,
still-
you're just outside like the front of it at the gates where the giant fell, just like covered in this mound, this sea of gore. Yes, the wind picks up and it's almost like a tornado around you of just sleet and ice. And it gets smaller and tighter and coalesces in front of the gate of the castle and begins to take form.
I guess if it's shrinking down into something, Jesus Christ.
And as
Yeah,
it begins to take form, it looks almost kind of like one of your constructs, but made completely of like ice. this massive ice elemental creature takes form in front of you.
I guess we would try to get to like an advantageous position since we both have ranged abilities. I guess that would be my plan.
Oh, I mean, you guys are like way back, unless you
Right,
want to
right.
charge
But
forward.
like headed towards the castle, but like not by the gate, like trying to find like some kind of hill or something
Get
nearby
up in the
or
slopes or
something.
something on either side of it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfectly fine. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you usually got plenty of time to do that. Meanwhile, Elodin, this thing takes form in front of you, and as soon as it's kind of like finished taking form, one of its long arms, the right hand arm, stretches forward, and it, rather than having fingers, it's just this massive like ice sword that it forms, and it raises it up to bring it swinging down towards you.
This is dangerous. Is there somewhere I can make an appointment?
I'm
that-
not looking to get my head chopped off today. Can we do this like next week?
Is that what you want to do? Just stand there and ask it, and give it cheek.
Yes.
Okay, well, take an injury as it slices into you with the tip of its ice blade.
All right.
Once it's done that with the arm, it then kind of pulls it back as if it's going to lunge forward and stab it into you.
Well,
So which one do?
was that giant smart enough to not be considered an animal?
But yes, it was not an animal. It was a sentient creature.
All right, then I'll just turn into a squirrel.
Okay, give me the roll.
I don't know what trait would work for this if one of them does. Probably calm.
Maybe calm, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just turn into a squirrel and run up its blade and sit on its shoulder.
Okay, yeah, sure. Poof. Just as it's about to like lunge and stab into your chest, you turn into a squirrel right where your head would be, and fall a couple of inches and land on the blade. And you're able to run along the slippery ice of its arm. And do what?
I was thinking doing that thing where it tries to get you, but you run around its head or something until it hits itself. And
Right. You don't have fighting, do you? Or
I have
athletic
no fighting.
or anything
I
like
have
that?
no fighting skills. The most I have is shield.
I guess you're just gonna roll one dice then. It's very slippery, it is made of ice.
I'm guessing.
So your clothes will dig into it, but it's slippery at the same time.
So I would lose the main dice, but I would still keep the shapeshift dice.
Yeah. Yeah, you run around it and it's, managed to evade its blows with the left hand, with its trying to grasp you with these long, spiny, icicle fingers. But you also can't, keep your grip on it the entire time. You find yourself tumbling, sliding off of its carapace and falling into the snow by its feet. You guys on the slope, do you just want to do anything?
I'm gonna make fire arrows while traveling. Just like put some of the bolts and put a bit of like oil on them, ready
Sure.
to set them on fire.
You spend that supplies or gear, whatever you think's more appropriate.
I just want to like look and see if I can't see anything from the height advantage, like see if we can't like see into the court of the castle or something.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that there's like a keep in the centre, towers posted at the sides of the walls. There doesn't seem to be any signs of life or activity in there. It just looks desolate and frozen and abandoned. Although it is immaculate, it's not a ruin by any means. It looks as if almost like the ice that's encasing it is protecting it from the elements. If you want to shoot at the fire arrow, do you want to give me an archery roll?
Archer 3, initial place 4, sharp eye 5. Oh,
Yeah, you douse your arrow in oil, you light it, you raise it up and take aim, and then a gust of wind just poof blows the fire out. The snow that is beside you begins to kind of like rise up as a humanoid sort of mound. It begins to kind of like take form of a snout and a muzzle. the long sides of it began to split off, and you can see like long icy claws stretch out from the snow. It's not as large as the other elemental, but this one's about, you know, the same size as yourself.
I have Norman just charge it down while it's warming up, I guess.
Sure.
That'd be ride skill.
Yeah.
I don't even have anything that would apply to that, would I?
I don't know. I'm not sure what all 5 digits
quick-witted.
are.
Well, I know the other Sharp Eye don't, Jaded wouldn't. I don't know about Hidden Depths. I don't think Bitter would. And I got quick-witted.
Maybe quick-witted, because you're trying to do it as it's still forming.
So we always get the free dice still, or that like just like
You always
can't
get the
roll
3
stuff?
dice, yeah. Yes, you're able to turn him around, charge into it. You plough through the centre of it, obliterating it in just like a puff of snow. But then it begins to like form again slowly behind you after you've charged through it.
Oh my Jesus! Is it the only one that's like forming around here?
It is the only one that's forming, yes.
You got any ideas? I guess I can try and keep it busy while you come up with something.
Is the castle sort of just on its own, or is like a mountain around it or anything, or?
It's on a small hill, yeah. It's at the very end of the valley. So there's like hills, mountains kind of like on either side of it in the valley as well.
Wonder if we get some sort of avalanche started around it, so it sort of hits it's damaging the castle. Since the elements are there for protecting it, if you have something that's affecting the castle, they'll be using their force to try and stop it.
I'm starting to think coming here might have been a bad idea.
I'm not gonna respond to
I
that.
think you killing the giant, so it's actually been very useful, is a bad idea.
He was gonna get frozen again anyway. Probably.
Well, I think starting an avalanche might be easy depending on like what's around us. The bad part would be, would we get caught up in it?
It's always a chance.
Or a distance, but we're a bit away distance away. It's just trying to find a way to try and cause one be near sort of like a bit away from us in some way. Would your magic be able to hit something like that?
I mean, yeah, like Bolt, if there was like something that would cause an avalanche to start, maybe.
I mean, to cause an avalanche, all you have to do is remove some of the stabilizing snow and ice.
Right. Again, just finding a spot that wouldn't get me sucked up in it would be the thing. So
Yeah,
guess
I
we
mean,
try.
doing it at all is going to run the risk of somebody getting caught in it.
I'm sure they're
Exactly.
hoping at least one person gets caught in it.
I mean, there's a 33% chance the person I want to get caught in it gets caught in it.
He
There's
is the
also-
closest to the door.
There's also a 66% chance that somebody I don't want to get caught in it gets caught in it.
Well, 75% chance because you don't want Norman to get caught in either.
This is true. Anyways, I guess I'll look around for something to use my magic on to see if I can, or maybe Norman could cause like a stampede, avalanche, or something. I'll look around for something.
Sure, I mean, like I said, you're on the slope of the mountain, so there is, you know, rocks and stuff being held up by blocks of ice and packed snow that's up there as well, and just removing something at the right point would certainly cause that to come tumbling down the mountainside.
Aim is to get hit towards the castle rather than the creatures, right?
Yeah, something. I would aim something for the castle since that's your plan. Was Sharp Eye
Unfortunately,
helping
math
with that?
skills don't.
Sharp Eye would definitely help with this, yeah, because it's about
Okay,
the
so-
accuracy of getting it exactly where you want to trigger it.
I don't want to get close to it, so I'm going to use my bolt spell.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, I mean, I think with the crit, you'll definitely be able to trigger that exactly as you'd planned. You're able to remove, like, supporting snow, just a big gout of it that's blasted with your mana energy. And that destabilizes one side of the mountain, and you start to see the snow and the ice sort of shift, and then the rocks above them, the weight of them kind of like pushing it down, and they all begin to tumble slowly at first, but gathering speed as it comes down the mountainside. Big cloud of powder snow coming up in front of it, sort of obscuring vision. It's far enough off to the side though, it's not hitting the elemental, it's not hitting Runic. You're not far away enough yourself, and it just comes tumbling down its speed and slams with force into the side of the castle on the kind of like southern edge. You see the rocks just like crashing into the walls and shattering the ice that's encased them. The figure, the snow elemental that's standing beside Runic, sort of loses its structural integrity and just collapses into a pile of snow.
Well, that wasn't what we had in mind, but it worked.
What does the ice elemental do?
You tumbled and fell off of it. It just kind of like raises its hands up and turns to where the direction where the avalanche fell. And then it kind of moves its body around. It doesn't really have a head as such, it just has a mass where its shoulders would be. And it just kind of like moves itself around until it's angled towards where the rhinoceros is. And then it starts to move slowly forward through the snow.
Ah, good. They've distracted it.
Oh, damn, it didn't catch him in that. I mean, yeah, we distracted it for you.
Did the avalanche cause a hole in the building or anything for it to get in?
It smashed the ice that was encasing the wall. I don't think it'd be strong enough to smash the wall down itself.
But would all the snow pile up that we could like?
Yes,
use it
you
like
could
a
definitely
ramp?
run up the slope it's created to get over the wall now.
Alright, I'm gonna run up that as a squirrel.
Yeah, you don't need to
I'll
roll
go.
for that. That's easy enough to do, and you're light enough that it's not a problem for you. The only one who really has a problem is Norman,
Norman,
who
yeah.
has the ice elemental coming towards him, and it's picking up speed as it's moving towards you.
I think I'll try to buy them time, I guess, and me and Norman would meet his charge with our own, I suppose.
Yeah, and you fancy the chances of his horn against this thing made of ice. Not too far off in terms of size or mass.
This might be why I have to say goodbye to Norman, but we'll find out.
Do you want to give a roll with Ryder?
But I can,
Or
don't think I have
Beastmaster,
any-
I mean either one if you think it's more suitable.
no, but Ryder's fine. I just don't think anything applies this time, so just gonna roll. Like I ain't got foolhardy or anything like some people.
I mean,
Feel your curse is broken.
what's the other one? You got like bitter and spite.
Yeah, well, I got bitter and jaded, so maybe my hatred's pulling through for me finally. I'm getting all
Yeah,
these
I mean, I
messages.
could see you kind of like channeling some of that inner rage that you keep deep down inside you and bringing it out and just letting out a massive cry and using that to sort of like push Norman on to like get all his animalistic rage worked up as well.
Well, so that'd be like a bitter hidden depths kind of combo.
Yes, yeah.
I'm okay with that. I won't play that.
You're so bitter you can make other things bitter.
I was
And
like-
I'm just so angry at my life and how it turned out that yeah, I can just egg Norman on.
Yeah, the rhinoceros becomes a conduit for your rage.
Norman, destroy.
You want to like roll an extra dice, whatever you need to.
Well, is that your roll there? I didn't even fucking
Yeah,
see a move.
That 3 successes. That's why he said, I think your curse is broken because I keep succeeding finally. So this session finally.
Yeah, so you let out this kind of just bestial inner energy just like surging through you, this sheer spite and hatred and frustration and anger of the world, channeled through you into your mount, Norman. And he also just lets out a roar and charges headfirst, thundering through the snow and the ice, and smashes into this creature, penetrating its body with his horn, raising it up and just like casting it off the side of the bridge to the castle, and the thing shatters on the rocky ground below.
Me and Norman gonna grow old and die together.
If anything, you know, the most difficult part is trying to calm him down afterwards because he's so worked up.
Oh yeah.
You can see him just kind of like stomping around in circles looking for another target.
Too bad Eldon's a little squirrel.
Runic, you make your way around the side of the building. You can see this little woodland creature scurrying up the slope over the wall into the castle.
Oh, look, a snack.
I found that funnier than I should have.
Didn't someone try to
What?
eat me as an animal last time, though?
I think we just ate
I'm
you.
gonna roll a
Pete,
d6 to see if I
last time.
shoot it.
Alright, let's see.
This is very.
Oh, these
That is most
even-
vulnerable.
You love again.
Maybe I just need to have my shield always active. Alright, so what's inside the castle? Like once we get over the slope
Oh
into the
yeah, so
courtyard?
you go over it onto the wall. You can see the courtyard below. I mean, it's just very like the train outside. You can see the cobblestones, the paving, very finely crafted, perfectly symmetrical. The angles are immaculate, just encased in a thin layer of like transparent ice and frost. The gateway above it, or beyond it, lies open. You can see the towers, you can see the tapestries hanging by the sides of the gates, also encased in ice. It's silent and serene here. There's no wind.
What an awful place. Alright, I'll just go in the courtyard to see if I can find anything, or just...
You're inside. Runik's coming over the wall behind you, and what's Evander going to do?
I think once I get Norman calmed down, I guess I would try to find a way through the gate. I don't think he can make it up that encampment, that snowbank. I mean,
So the gate itself, looks undamaged, secured, also, encased in ice.
maybe I'll just tie him up out here then, so I connect him to something on the bridge and then go over myself, I guess.
I'm sure there's plenty of sort of like stone structures and walls you could tie him to, or leash him up to. The door itself looks, I wouldn't say impenetrable, but it'd be a lot of work to get through the door if that was your route.
Well, I was just wondering if maybe there's like a way to open it from the inside, So, like, I'd rather do that than try to force my way in.
Okay, so you want to yell over the wall for them to open the door up?
No, I was gonna tie him up and like climb over like the snow myself, like everyone else did, and then
Oh, just go
back
around
to
the side and up
gate.
over the wall. Sure. Yeah, you go down there and you can see the tracks in the snow for these two. You're able to follow that over without anything given away. So Runic, when you climb inside, what do you want to do?
So I just scout the around the courtyard and that till we find the main door, or find out where that squirrel went.
Yeah, I mean you can see the main entrance gateway just like he could. It's wide open, and the larger central keep building beyond that.
Do you see any runics or markings or anything?
Why didn't you give me a roll with Lore Master?
Would sharp eye count in this case as well?
Yeah. There's definitely symbols and writing at certain points that would suggest there's some sort of protective runes on the structure. They're in a kind of... I'm trying to think of this kind of language. Almost Sanskrit looking sort of language. There's been a lot of care taken. The calligraphy is quite intricate and precise.
Might try and break one of them just to see if it knocks the protection off. Just use like my knife to sort of like scarred it a bit. One of the runes.
Right, sure. Just like chip through the ice and then scratch it out kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sure. Do you want to spend a gear? Get a little hammer and chisel.
I'll just use my dagger. Okay, I'll just use my
Oh,
last
you would want
gear.
a wee hammer thing because you have to chip through the ice, and the ice is quite thick. It has a lot of... It doesn't break or shatter as easily as you'd expect ice to. It takes a bit of force. But yeah, you're able to chip through it, and you get to the stone, and the stone is this very smooth, very light grey, almost sandstone kind of texture. Although when you start like chipping into it to score it out, it's a lot firmer, sturdier, harder to damage. It's not as soft as sandstone. It's actually very difficult for you to get any sort of like indentation made on it, but you are able, after a little bit of working, to scratch against the symbol somewhat, break the immaculate lines that is used to design it. And as you do that, the area immediately around it, within a maybe 6 inches distance, melts. Like the ice melts.
Guys, I think I found a way to get through this place a bit easier.
Meanwhile, the squirrel has ran up to the main entrance through the gate, up the stairwell entrance to the main building, and the massive doors there are just opened just like a couple of inches, which is enough for your little squirrel body to squeeze through. And inside is a long corridor with suits of armour and statues on either side flanking it. There's a long blue carpet along the centre. All of it is encased in ice.
They really need someone to clean this place up. I guess as a squirrel, I'll just keep running down the corridor until I find something. Or maybe I'll wait by the entrance for the other two.
Well, which is it?
I guess I'll go hide behind the statue and wait by the entrance.
Okay, you're gonna wait. That's fine. Evander, you kind of like get down, lower yourself down from the wall, and you can see Runic standing there, like chipping away at one of the pillars.
I'll run over to him and climb up to his shoulder.
Ah, dinner's back.
I thought I said Evander. Did I say Eldon?
You did.
I'm getting fucking dementia, I'm telling you.
The names are very close to each other, that's why I get confused myself.
They're
Don't
not
worry.
that close, man. Like, fucking losing it.
There's 2 E's.
Evander, anyway, you come into the courtyard and you'll be able to see Runic chipping away.
You chipping out the gate door, like that leads outside to Norman, or a different door?
The inner gate that's going into the keep.
Okay, I will. I'll just like look at him, see what he's doing, then I'll continue on my way to try to open up the main gate door so I can get Norman on the inside.
Sure, you go in. Oh, okay, you're going to that one. Yes, so you can see the massive heavy-set barricade bolt across the inside. But that is all also encased in ice. So you'd have to break through the ice and then heave the massive wooden thing off so you could open the door up.
Could I spend gear to do like a some kind of like fire to help melt it off instead of just trying to chip it away?
Yeah, you can certainly try that.
That would be. So I guess I do a combination of like melting ice and then breaking it loose.
Sure. And you can chip away at the ice, it takes some considerable effort, but the flame has no effect on melting it.
Really? Well, at least I learned something. So yeah, I'll chip away at it. I think I'll file that away. Like information for later.
So it's going to take him a considerable amount of time to do that, if you other two want to do anything.
Sorry, give me 3 seconds.
Yeah, Norman has saved my life on multiple occasions now, so I'm no longer going anywhere without Norman.
That's fair enough.
I guess I'll use Wizard Sight to try to see if I can find anything interesting.
Just looking around? Sure, give me a roll. Yes, along the walls and walkways, up on the walls and the inner walls, there's a lot of sort of vine kind of plant, and it has these very pale blue, almost white flowers, and they seem to, although the vines themselves are kind of encased in the ice, the flowers are protruding from the surface of the ice. And they definitely have a sort of magical aura about them. It's very faint, but it's definitely there.
I want to go and touch one.
Are you in human form now, or are you still a squirrel?
I'm still a squirrel.
Yeah, you reach out and touch one of the flowers and take an injury, as a surging pain of just like coldness comes through you. In fact, take a cold as well.
All right, so then I take a health tick for my injuries.
Sure. Yeah, imagine the arm that you touched it with, like the inside of it is not frozen like the rest of the people you saw, but it was, you know, the process of that began, and you know, you can feel the frostbite.
How interesting. I wonder. I want to turn back into a human, and I want to try to take the flower off the vine without touching it.
Okay, do you want to spend a gear to have something to do that with?
All right, I'll use a gear.
I'm trying to think what kind of thing you would do that with. Maybe just like a little sack or something. Or a glove.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
use a sack and just wrap it around the flower and pull it off.
Yeah, you pluck it off the wall. And as soon as you pluck it off, like another bud starts to grow immediately in its place. And as you hold the flower up to just examine it, it begins to thaw and then melt in front of you.
Well, there's definitely something going on here. Should we try to find out what's causing it, or should we just leave?
This has been a lot of bother. Let's just go.
The guy who revived the giant, brought it to the gates, murdered it, now wants to leave.
Well, I got what I wanted. I just wanted to sacrifice the giant.
He said everything else just happened by accident, dude. Me ending up here, totally accident.
Just want to take a 2-minute break while we wait for him to come back.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Guess we can get something to
Okay.
drink and eat.
I just gotta figure out how I'm gonna sacrifice more things to the they who look beneath the ice. If Eladin somehow survives, I think I'm gonna have her make a cult.
Like this sacrificing to whatever this red eye in the sky is, Colt.
Yeah, you know, just a generic cult for eldritch being or something. It'll just end up being more random lore we're used to the next time we play this game.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we'll like the next time we play it'll be like 200 years later we'll be hearing about the cult of Eladin or some shit.
Oh yeah, I'd have to start thinking about a good name for it. I'll just tell the people in the last outpost that I've got a way for them to live forever,
Yeah, right.
trapped in the ice.
I found it on the island with the fairy. Like no one's gonna believe me, but just like, join me and I'll show you. Come on.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I didn't realise something. We never checked at the last village if any of the children were the guys we were looking for. Of all the
I think
frozen bodies there, we never checked to see if anyone were actually the one we were looking for.
I thought we did. I thought we did mention that at one point.
Mention what?
That none of the frozen bodies at the last village were the ones we were looking for, like the kids that we were sent out to find.
Yeah, they weren't the guy.
Do either of you want to join my cult?
That'd be a big negative, Ghost Rider.
You don't even know about your cult. You just know you're randomly talking to people in thin air lately.
They
He said if his guy survives, he's gonna form a cult.
they just know they don't want to be near you.
On that note, I'll try and show Evanders the Sanskrit runes sort of thing. If we sort of chip away at them, it seems to be affecting the barrier protection on the main doors. Might be able to chip away enough so you can get the main gate might open up.
Well, I mean, yeah, if that's quicker than what I'm doing, then yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sorry, on you go.
No, that's fine. So I'm pretty sure you said I could get the gate open either way, but if it'll be quicker to do what you
Yeah, it'll do it faster that way if you're actually targeting the runes. Because chipping the ice away from them and then just put a little scratch, a little notch, just enough to disrupt the outline of the sigil, is enough to like trigger it and cause the ice around it to melt, which will move a lot faster to release the door, so that you can both kind of use your strength and heave the huge bolt, the barricade, off together, and then unfreeze the doors and get the door open.
Yeah.
While you're doing this, Elodin has been doing something to these little flowers that you've all noticed around the walls and the walkways. But Eldon's left arm seems to be like stiff and rigid in a pale blue colour.
Don't touch me with that arm. Keep away, I'll wait.
Is he back in human form? Or I thought he was.
He's in human form now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just poking at flowers in the wall with a sack.
Where the hell have you been?
So I think I'll take note of the flower he's poking and the way his arm looks, and not touch the flowers myself.
So when he's picked up a flower with the bag, the flower melts almost immediately afterwards.
You tell where these things are going? Are these things attached to something, these flowers?
Yeah, they're in these vines under the ice. I think they all might lead somewhere. I just want to start following the vines through the wall, or along the wall.
Afraid to say this, but I think we should follow him.
After I get Norman, because if I follow him, he's gonna just leave me in trouble.
Oh, okay, I can help you with that. Just turn into a bear and just punch the gate.
If I wanted to do it that way, I would have just had Norman do it.
Or I guess I'll just turn into a badger and start digging at the ice.
Well, I mean, I can't
Something.
stop you. If you turn into a bear, I can't stop you. So you do what you want.
Just as on the note, you keep talking about transform. I'm just pointing out you are well using to break the runes here.
Oh, well, that's smart.
Slap my
I'll,
forehead. And how is he not cursed? How is he not cursed?
Is he not cursed? I don't know.
Despite changing form back again, he's still covered head to toe in giant blood and flesh and gore.
I forgot about that part. That's kind of disgusting.
I've been blessed with the power of they who lurk beneath the ice.
Did you say that out loud? Like, is that something you
Yeah.
tell me out loud? Oh my Jesus Christ! Been blessed by they who lurk beneath the ice.
Yes, it sounds very benign, doesn't it?
Roll
Sounds like-
1d6.
Sounds like a nightmare you tell your kids. Keep them in line, you know? You've misbehaved, the things beneath the ice will come and get you.
If you guys all want to take a cold for me as the time goes by and you get this gate open, and eventually, open it enough that you can get Norman in.
Would we still take cold? Because I tried to do the fire thing, so I'd have a heat source.
Oh, you
nearby.
have a source? Yes, no, you'll be fine then.
Okay. I mean, I'll take the cold. I was just wondering.
No, I forgot you had the fire.
I better get treasure out of this. That's all I'm saying. I've killed a couple of elementals, caused an avalanche.
I've run out of gear, so I need to try and find replacements.
I am also out of gear.
I'm standing next to a guy who's covered in blood and guts. You know.
And to top it off, you were following the vines to see where they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're kind of like tracing the vines, you notice that they're actually still growing. In fact, just now they're growing at an accelerated rate. They seem to be getting thicker and denser all over all the walls, and more flowers are popping and sprouting out from the ice.
Eldon's gonna lean in close to one of the flowers and just look at all the other ones that are popping out of the wall. Hey, guys, I think we should hurry up. It's just a feeling. These flowers are bad news.
I'm assuming, well, whenever we get Norman inside, I'll just be ready to go wherever. Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. Well, I mean, you're both sharp-eyed, right? So you probably notice as well when you talk to Eldon, he's moving around doing stuff. His left hand, the tips of his fingers are like black with frostbite.
Does he not notice this?
He doesn't feel it because it's numb.
And even if he does, he's calm enough not to react to it.
Well, there's calm not to react to it, and then there's calm reacting to it. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but I might need to figure this out.
He just plans on making a new hand if this one falls off.
Oh, you're crazy. I forgot. Forgive me.
Yes, you got to remember this point.
I've forgotten. My bad. Excuse me.
Do we see like a key like point where they're all coming from, like where they're sort of going from, or are they just coming from like different all sort of directions?
They definitely look as if they're denser on the walls as you go further into the centre of the castle towards the keep.
Do the flowers melt if I hold the fire next to them, since the ice on the doors didn't? Are they like is it like a different reaction?
No, they do not melt. They
don't melt.
They don't melt. They don't burn.
I'm not gonna try.
Ellen, can you sense any sort of key magic bit we can try and do something to, or anything?
Oh, there's magic everywhere here. Kind of hard to tell where it all is.
Why do we have you in this party?
Because I'm the only one who can cook.
This is true. This is true. He is the only one who can cook. What's your wolf companion? Did it get destroyed at some point?
It's at this point it's probably just wandering through the ice waiting for instructions, or just acting like a wolf would.
A new lore is now created. The wooden wolf of the forest.
I was about to say, he's like, damn, this crazy cultist bastard, but he makes good sandwiches.
That potato soup is just to die for, though.
Literally, if you go on following in with him too long.
Those weren't tomatoes.
I said potatoes, but yes.
I thought it was pine needle soup he was making.
I can pretend whatever I want to pretend.
Right, back to the flowers now.
Like, there's nothing we can do, right? Like, if we're following them, we just got to keep following them, or we just ignore them and head to, like, wherever the throne/antechamber ring would be.
I had an idea of basically attaching a magic stone at the tip to my arrow that I have and fire it at the source of where it's sort of growing from, but because we can't detect where, I have no way of detecting magic, so there's no way for me to fire at the right spot.
Well, I mean, you can visually see the flowers that are now popping out of the vines everywhere. It's denser as you get further into the castle. So up the stairway to the main door, which is just slightly a couple of inches ajar, that is where it's densest. You know, there's flowers like all around that doorway.
Oh, can I see the stone you're talking about?
No.
No, I'm using it I need to use the stone to stop things.
Of course, of course.
So, do you want to shoot it in there and potentially lose it, or do you want to, like, test it out on one of these other flowers first? You see what I'm saying?
I
Yeah,
think
true, I could
poke it
try.
right here and just points at the spot where they're all the densest by the door.
Because if you shoot it in there, how are we going to get it back? I guess if you attach a string to it, or a rope, maybe? I didn't think about that.
Right, we'll test it out first, right? Then I'll move I'll attach the stone to like one of the like sort of see like a tip of an arrow of it, and then point the arrow at the one of the flowers.
Okay,
Hold on a
so I
sec.
mean, I described it before. It's kind of like a moonstone. It's got lots of like air pockets and stuff in it. So you're just like jamming your arrow tip into one of those little air pocket holes on it, and using that to hold it, so you can just like touch one of the flowers with it. Yes.
Yeah. So you can do it safe, sort of a safe distance.
As soon as you touch the flower with the moonstone, the flower flares up into a violet flame and burns to like a cindered crisp. And all the
Okay.
flowers in the surrounding area sort of pull themselves back or close their petals.
Okay, so it definitely does something.
I want this wish, so let's go get this.
Wait, you do that. I'm gonna stand over here. I'm like point like as far away from the big cluster of flowers as I can get.
Wait, it like runs off to the other side of the court.
I'm gonna go through the door while the flowers are closed.
Oh, well, in human form, you can't fit through the door because it's only like a 2-inch gap, and the door's like frozen, just like everything else. There are runes around the door you saw previously through the ice, but that is now covered in like vines and flowers.
Does the moonstone work on the walls? I shout from across the courtyard.
Here, come have a look and try.
No, I'm good. I'm safe over here. I'll wait for the experiment to be over.
Right, I'll knock the flowers a bit, and you try to sneak in and have a wee look and let me know if there's a way to break the runes from the other side, or breaks as many runes as you can as I knock the flowers back.
All right, good idea. I'll turn into a squirrel again.
Okay, and then slink through the gap. Okay, give me
Yeah.
a roll.
Would any of my traits help with this right now?
I don't think so. Yes, you shrink down to the size of a squirrel, and you proceed to squeeze yourself through the door. But because now the vines have grown denser and flowers are everywhere, you cannot help but touch one of the flowers as you slink through. Your entire body seizes and freezes up. You take an injury, and you are frozen solid in place in the gap in the door.
Wonderful.
Okay, now we can leave. Let's go.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, we could just leave him there, right? Like,
It's probably the best time to. Yeah.
No one will ever know.
So give me a wee second. Leon's shouting me. Hold on.
what was it? Be rolling a d6 to see?
I don't know how he was working out what was the
I
success and what
don't
wasn't.
know either. I don't know either.
It's above 3. Yeah, you guys leave me here.
Oh man.
Are you debating whether you're gonna kill me while I'm frozen or just leave me frozen?
No, I think he said someone was yelling at him or something.
He's
Oh.
a kid, yeah. Children.
I guess I'll have to work on a new character for next time.
Okay, how good do you think we should do? Should we just leave him? I do
rolled
want
a
the wish.
I rolled a d6, so there's your result. I got a 4. I don't know how you are scoring
We've
this.
got him. It's only a 6 when we leave and kill him.
Oh, so
That's
okay,
my
so
crit.
Darn,
okay,
I wanted a new
Alright.
character.
so he's still alive. He's in the hole.
Yeah, you just see the arse end of the squirrel frozen in place, sticking out your side of the door.
Have the funny notion of sticking the arrow on Squirrel's butt.
I mean, that was what I was going to suggest. Like, just touch him with it, see what happens. 1,000 years of pain. Anybody? Just
I'm just thinking sort of revenging us for the last time he tried to heal us with sticking it.
yeah. Just stab him in the
Heal! Damn.
Do you mean with the stone, or do you mean just the arrow?
We've not rolled a 6, so I'll leave it as probably the stone.
We
So-
want to touch him with a stone, though. That's the thing.
I'll touch it with like the edge. I'm also got the stone attached inside the arrow just now.
Yeah. So you can use that to touch the squirrel, yes.
Yeah.
Oh god, we should have left him for dead.
You touch him with the stone, and as the stone's getting close to him, it starts to glow as if it's heating up, but it's like heating up with a kind of violet colour rather than a red. And as you touch him, his whole body unfreezes. And Eldon, you're also going to recover one of your injuries.
Alright. Do I recover my cold since I was unfrozen?
Sure, yeah. The touch of the stone on your skin was exquisite, pleasant. You felt a direct link, communication with the being that you've only heard whispering to you for the past few days. It was a blissful experience.
Ricardo?
Ellen, stop looking like you're getting your rocks off. No, break those runes now to get these doors open.
Oh, right. Here, let me use that stone. Maybe it'll help.
Let me use that stone.
No. Bad squirrel. Bad squirrel.
Alright, I'll go through the door and look for the runes or...
Yeah, so like I
Or
said,
something.
runes all around the door, runes carved into the door, encased in ice, but between them it's the vines and the flowers.
Right,
And-
so he's on the inside, so now you gotta shoot the main thing and see what happens, right? That was the plan. And he's supposed to like get rid of any runes if he can.
There's too many flowers. They're covering up the runes.
Well, if he shoots it, what kind of reaction might happen? They might disappear or something. Right? That was the plan.
Yeah, but
I
what's
kept
good?
touching, they started retracting. I thought I was going to shoot like a main source of them to try and kill all of them. But if it's just obviously they're blocking the way of finding where the main source is, I can just like start tapping the ones around the door and have them retract.
Yes, which you can do. But if Eldon is on the other side of the door, you would need to pass the rock and arrow through to him so he could do it on the other side. If that's what you're wanting him to do.
Oh god.
Yes, I'll need to use it to destroy the source.
I'm not sure if I should roll a dice for this one or not.
He says with his eyes shifting left and right, yes, I need the stone for the job. Yes.
Regrettably, we'll give him the stone to try and clear it so we can get through the door.
You'll reverently reach through the door to take it
When Goon
and
gets
just
in the way
slink
of
his
his
hand back.
fence.
And as your fingers touch the little stone between them, this pebble-sized piece of rock, the comfort that you feel, surging through your body is just euphoric. You've never felt so wanted, desired, and loved, so complete. And you can not just hear the voice whispering to you, but it is speaking to you loud and clear in your mind. You have a direct connection back to that larger rock, back to that alien source on this landscape far, far away. And you can feel how sated and grateful it is for your offering previously of the giant. But it wants more. It has so much more it can give you and so much more it can offer you, so much more power it can bestow upon you, if only you can bring it offerings.
Yes, I'll need to find more people to help me search for more. You just hear him mutter as he walks away from the door.
As you're holding the rock in one hand, your other hand, which was frozen up and becoming more frostbitten, warms and thaws. And as you're holding the stone, you can reach out with your other hand, and as your hand gets within maybe an inch or so of the flowers burst into flames and melt and burn. They don't melt, sorry, they burn, turn to cinder.
Do they see any of this through the crack in the door?
I probably can't see shit. I'm so far away.
I mean, it'd be quite dangerous for them to put their face right up to the door to try to look through, because they'd end up touching a flower. So I'm guessing they wouldn't see any of this.
Right, Ellen, break down the stupid runes. Let this door open. Come on. We're not got all day. We need to make this place safe enough so if we need to camp or whatnot.
All right, I'll keep looking for the source of the vines.
Just break the door and let us all in first. If you're finished breaking the flowers away, give us back the stone.
Give us back the stone.
I'll go and burn the flowers on the door.
Sure, you just wave your hand across as you hold the stone in your other hand, and you know the flowers just like burn away. The ice itself sort of like melts away as well, revealing the runes beneath, and the runes kind of glow a soft bluish colour as you hover over them with your hand. You can feel it like a magnet pushing against you.
So does the door push open?
Once it's melted enough, yes it will.
Alright, the door's open. I'm gonna go search further into the keep. He shouts before he just starts walking deeper into the keep.
So it's a long corridor, blue carpet on the floor, like I said, and there's statues in suits of armour on either side. The figures' suits of armour is this very pale, almost silver kind of armour, and the figures are very tall and lithe and thin. If you're just going to start walking down the corridor, though, Eldon, as you do that, there's a clink behind you as one of the suits of armour steps out.
Oh.
This is a tough decision.
The door is pulled open by Runic, and you can see it being pulled open, Evander.
So I just see him step out behind him.
One at a time.
I was hoping to nick one of those suits of armor.
Do you see the suit's armor moving towards him, or is it just...
Oh, yeah, he turns around and starts heading off down the corridor, and as soon as he does, you just see the suit of armor step forward into the middle of the hall, or towards the centre of the hall.
Ellen, I'll leave you alone for 2 seconds and you set off another trap.
What do you mean? This is just the greeting party. They're probably here to lead us somewhere.
The figure of armor just like spins the massive glaive it's holding in its hands.
You think if we like ask it nicely, it'll just like quit operating the suit of armor?
I think you'd have to ask it nicely with that knife through its chest.
Or the stone in your hand, you know.
It spins the glaive around and then aims it towards Eldon and starts marching towards him.
Sorry, they're after him.
Alright, I'm gonna try to talk to it. I come as a messenger, sent as a great envoy of the they who lurk beneath the ice, and I'm gonna point the stone at it.
Take an injury as it swings the glaive down and slices into your shoulder.
Alright, and then while it's doing that, I'm gonna poke it with the stone.
Yeah, you thrust your hand out with the stone, touching its armor, and you can hear a sort of fizzling sound, although you can't see any physical reaction actually happening. But it doesn't seem to have any like other effect. So Evander and Runic, what do you guys want to do?
I guess I'll start moving towards Runic's position. And I'll just ready my magic. I'm not gonna attack just yet.
So I don't know if I should waste some of my last arrows. Probably should.
I mean, it is a suit of armor, so I don't know if you know how effective your arrow might be on that.
if I shoot one of the joint bits, because usually armors have got like links or things that link them together.
Yes.
So if I knock off one of the links, it'll knock off it off balance.
Right.
I'm just trying to figure out what I'm trying to remember sort of anatomy things of armor, like sort of the link, the main.
Well,
the
one of
main
the
links
one of
that
the
link-
joints for the knee or the hip, I would guess. Then, if you're trying to knock off balance.
Yeah,
I would do actually the elbow, so it couldn't like to glaze a two-handed weapon, right? So at least then it wouldn't have the weapon as effectively. But it should just be straps holding the arm guard to the shoulder pauldron, kind of deal.
probably. But if it loses its balance, then basically it's just sort of wobbling about. The glaive's quite a heavy weapon, so it'll probably have it falling about the place.
True.
Actually, alright. So archer, sharp eye, initial dice, 5 dice.
Yes, your arrow goes straight through, and because of the particular design of this armor, the entire leg, just like the entire right leg, just becomes detached, and the whole thing just like topples over with the weight of the heavy two-handed halberd or glaive that it's holding, and the whole thing just kind of like scatters on the floor. You can hear the clang of the armor against the ice. It's still able to swing its arms around and sort of push itself along the ground slowly, but it's impossible for it to right itself.
There you go.
Well, one down, 4 more to go. 5. How many's on the walls?
Well, last one when it moved, so that was only might move.
You always plan for the worst, hope for the best.
So there was another suit of armor across from that. It's motionless. Beyond them, there are statues across from each other, and they seem to be statues of similar figures. Although they look as if they're wearing like maybe like a trader or a merchant's kind of outfit. And then beyond that is another pair of armor, but Eldon hasn't gone as far along the corridor as those two yet.
So I should keep going?
While he does that, I'm gonna go up to the one that didn't move and see if it moves.
It seems completely stationary. It's not entirely clear how it's been supported, how it's standing there. There doesn't seem to be a frame or anything within it or behind it, but it's not in motion.
Did I notice any more sort of runes around this room or anything maybe on the armor?
There's definitely runes on the armor. There's definitely runes in the walls and embroidered on the carpet.
Vander, scratch out the rune on the armor that you're standing next to just to see what happens.
Yeah, I'll do that. I was also gonna see if there was anything different about the one suit that moved and the one that didn't, like if like on the pedestal or something.
They look the same as far as you can tell. Do you want to roll your with mage sight though, if you've got perception or something like that?
I just got sharp eyed. I don't have any kind of magic sight.
Oh, you don't have,
I
you
have.
don't have mage sight. Well, you could
Do
roll
what?
2 dice because your dice and you're sharp-eyed, and then he could help you with mage sight to give you a third dice. And no, you can't tell any difference between them. They both got sigils, runes. They both look like the same construction, the same material. There's no obvious difference about why one would activate and one wouldn't.
I'm gonna start taking it apart anyways.
As you're disassembling that one, the other one in the middle of the hall on the floor is kind of just like spinning around, trying to swipe at Eldon with its glaive. But you're able to easily sort of like just step back one step at a time to keep out of its reach.
I wanted to try to use pieces from this one to like equip like the light armor or whatever for the character sheet.
Yep, you can do that.
Is there anything nearby, like a vase or anything?
No vases in this hallway, no.
I guess I'll just go walk around it down the hallway.
At the far end of the hallway is like a T-junction. There's tall, slender wooden doors with brass handles and like an outline immediately in front of you. And then off to the left and off to the right at the far end, it looks as if there's spiral staircases ascending upwards.
Is there like any indication what the doors could lead to?
There's a crown sigil on the door. And some kind of coat of arms. It's probably a quarter design with the two flowers on the top left quarter and a stag on the bottom right corner.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Well, much like everything else, the door is frozen. If you lift your hand up to it and you're still holding the stone, the ice will melt. But everyone else will be able... Well, I don't know if they can see that really, if they're really paying too much attention.
I wouldn't be, not until he actually makes noise by knocking, I guess.
Yeah, I'll just bring my hand up to with the stone to knock on the door. As he moves his hand close, it just melts and he knocks on the door in a melted spot.
There's a loud echo through the hallway as it doof knocks. And the door just slowly slides open. You can see beyond a grand, massive, circular throne room with a very intricate, spiked-looking throne at the far end in the centre, on top of a raised dais. There's two smaller seats either side of it, so 5 seats in total. And there's long, not tapestries, banners hanging down either side from the rafters. The ceiling looks as if it's made of glass, or maybe it's just ice. And there's intricate designs and murals along the walls and the pillars all over. On the throne itself is just a mess of vines all wrapped around what looks like some sort of humanoid figure that's almost been kind of mummified with vines wrapped around it.
Now I can see if I recognise the coat of arms using Lure Master.
Sure. No.
Worth a
No idea.
Eldon will just announce himself and ask for an audience as loud as he can.
Your voice echoes around the great circular hall. You can see the vines around the throne twitch, and then you notice that they're growing all around the pillars and are across the floor of this room.
Are they still staying away from me since I have the stone?
Yes, they're definitely keeping a distance around you.
I think I found something. Do I just look back and see him trying to put a suit of armor on?
Yeah, Evander's trying to fit his portly form into the very slender armor.
No, I was just using pieces of it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't think I'd fit the whole thing. It'd probably be too tall for me or something.
Yeah, but it doesn't fit very well anyway, is what I'm saying.
Right. I have a feeling I'm going to need this in like 2 seconds.
So you two are still on the other side of the armor. Yeah, it's still on the floor, swinging its thing around.
Yes.
So what do you two want to do?
Was there any other weapons things we're holding around here?
The other two suits of armor beyond this one are holding glaives. And Evander could have a glaive as well off of the armor that he was messing with.
I'll definitely take that. Oh, I guess I'll just move towards Devon, but not go into it yet because I don't want to get drafted there.
Yeah, I mean from outside the room. I mean, how are you going to pass this armor that's on the ground with the thing swinging around?
I'm assuming when it swung its glaive out, just block it with mine and then step past it, right?
Okay,
I'm
you have
assuming doesn't it have
fighting,
like
don't you? Do I roll that?
yeah, I have fighting.
Yeah, it's a bit troublesome blocking it, and it takes you a couple of attempts, but you're able to disable it by bringing the glaive down and slicing off the arm that controls the glaive. And then the armor itself just becomes inanimate again. It stops moving.
Take the glaive, so I've got a weapon as well.
Sure, you can do that. The glaives are extremely well balanced, like perfectly well balanced, and they're very light. Like you're able to throw them around very easily.
Let's go see what Eldon's activated now.
Oh, I'm sorry. There's another dangerous situation.
So before you get into the room, obviously, like I said, there's passages on either side that go off to like spiral staircases going upwards, or you can go into the room that he's in. And the door's open so you can see the contents of the room from where you're standing at the entrance.
I would say we go explore everything else first, but if we leave him by himself, he will cause trouble.
He's just in the near the entrance, just surrounded by vines that don't want to come close to him.
Yeah, you can see the vines sort of twitching and reaching out and exploring. It's almost like an area around him that causes them to kind of like burn and alight. And each time they do this, as they're prodding, they're just kind of like keeping their distance around him.
Well,
Do you guys want to come in here, or should I just take care of this mess by myself?
Well, that depends. If you go further in, are they gonna like close in behind you and then come out into the hallway, or what?
I don't know.
Well, the vine source seems to be that thing. Whatever you're trying to communicate with. Or the other option is we go upstairs. But I have a feeling we'll probably have to take out this thing at one point, or you have to try and find a way to talk to it.
All right, I'll approach it for now.
If Alden like turns around to talk to you at this point, you can see that both of his eyes are like blood red.
You might want to give me the stone.
Why? He just tilts his head at you. Just
I'm better shot. I'll be able to take out the thing quicker. If it goes wrong after speaking to it.
I'm just gonna take an extra step back.
I think it'll be faster if I just take care of it. He just takes a step further into the room.
Eldon, you know I can shoot it at a distance, so none of us will get harmed. You have to go right close to the thing.
But what if this is the fairy that grants wishes, and it's trapped?
Well, we need to go unlock it then, don't we?
Exactly.
In worst case, I want to shoot it in the head. I mean, pleasantly put it out as misery.
I feel like I'm just watching an argument between one motor hobo and the other. Who gets to kill thing first?
Should I give him the stone or not give him the stone?
Don't give him the stone, comes the voice.
Okay. He just walks towards the...
Okay, you're 100% correct.
Okay, as you're going to hand me the stone back now so we can try and talk to this thing.
The voice
He
in
just
your
said-
head, Eldon, begins to tell you can't trust these two. They want to take away your power, and then they will turn on you. Look at them. They're both planning to kill you already. They are afraid of you.
Yeah, but most people are after a certain point.
Who are you talking to? What are you talking about?
What do you mean?
You're talking about saying something about most people want to or do. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm just talking. I'm just telling the that the
The dwellers under the ice.
yes, them. I'm just telling them about how you guys probably want to kill me already, or have for a while.
Oh, was I being that obvious about it?
We're talking to the ice about us wanting to kill you. Why would we want to kill you? If we wanted to kill you, we'd have been dead by now.
But I mean, a lot of people have wanted to kill me, but I'm still alive, so it's okay.
Well, in this case, then just hand us back the stone, right? And we'll talk to this thing, and then we'll figure out there what's going on.
I don't think I can do that.
For Runic and Evander, you know, Eldon is looking increasingly like not human. His eyes were blood red, and now they look kind of reptilian with the pupils. There's a sort of aura about him that makes you uneasy, and you're just reminded of the melting flesh, and you wonder, is that what he intends for you both?
I should have left him with a squirrel.
I tried to tell you. I said I rolled a 4. It was high enough.
Even I told you you should have.
It's a 6. 6 was the decider.
Well, I was just gonna turn around and start walking towards the throne.
I'm gonna head up one of the side staircases as he does that. I'm getting away from him.
As you're walking along there, Evander, you know, you just have a sensation of treachery, betrayal. You're thinking about not just Eldon and whatever is going on with him, but also Runic and how foolhardy he's been and how murderous he seems to be. How quick he is to dispatch people with those cursed arrows of his, and how easily it would be for one of them to like strike you in the back right now.
Boy, I think I'll be walking sideways now.
This suddenly became a game of paranoia.
Yeah, we definitely should not have came to this place. I think that'd be my first thought I had.
So Runic, you're also noticing that as he walks into that room, the flowers, they're not, I mean, the vines aren't trying to get close to him anymore, they're keeping their distance, although they're actively prodding all the time. But the flowers that are all around you, all in the walls and the ceiling and such, they're not like they're growing anymore like they were. They just seem to be softly, kind of rhythmically swaying.
I'm going to shout out to the thing further in the room. Are you the lord of this manor?
No reply comes from the figure. But you're beginning to imagine what may happen should he approach it, with things happening the way they are around him, with that sort of demonic look in his face. You start to imagine how Evander might panic and freak out and might run you both down with his massive rhinoceros.
That does seem to be my first reaction.
And how you are running low on arrows, and you know how well they've served you in the past by dispatching danger at the first sight, and how you might end the danger quicker if you were to just dispatch the two of them with your arrows now before they had a chance to react.
No.
Well, that was my own roll this time. I had my own roll I just did.
So do you do anything as I keep approaching the statue? Or the throne?
That depends on what's upstairs, I guess.
Oh, I mean, you make your way along the corridor, you lose sight of the two of them as you approach and find the stairwell. Again, it's encased of ice, but there is a banister you could hold, and it's a spiral stairwell that goes up, and this seems to be some sort of circular stone tower. Say circular, but it's cylindrical. But it seems to go up quite a distance if you want to start ascending the stairs.
Oh yeah, I'm going up.
The vines are still present here, but the flowers, you know, they're a distance away from you that you can quite easily avoid touching them. but they're also sort of slowly sort of moving in rhythm. But as you ascend the stairwell, you find yourself less concerned with what you might find and more concerned about the possibility of one of the two of your compatriots following you unseen from behind and what their intentions might be.
When I get to the top of the staircase, I'm gonna set up a sound alarm.
Yes, it seems to be some sort of study. There's like a large telescope extending out of a circular hole in the ceiling, pointed up towards the stars. And there's lots of charts and sort of little contraptions made of brass.
Like books and anything in here.
Not books, but there's lots of sort of like models made of brass and wood. Little orbs that are arranged in various patterns, and when you touch them, they sort of like spin around each other.
Even if it look valuable.
Yes, you know, roll a d6.
1d6 coming up. 5.
5 treasures worth in total of small ornaments that you could snatch up.
I take all of them.
Yes,
Why
you
does my
start
treasure
greedily
thing get
ransacking the place. And you're acutely, you're remembering how greedy your friend was, and snatching up that treasure and keeping it for himself, and then complaining that there wasn't enough treasure.
You can't trust him. He wants your treasure.
Yeah, he
yeah.
would definitely kill you. He would shoot you in the back and take your treasure from you.
Is there any other way down besides the way I came from?
No, that's the only way down. And peering down the dark staircase, you're worried that maybe he's laid a trap for you at the bottom. You couldn't put it past him. Maybe the two of them conspired together and they're going to rob you.
You can't trust anyone now.
Oh, dude, that's what my vol was about. I failed. Like I succumbed to paranoia. It's happening.
What about you, Runic? What are you doing now?
You should kill him while his back is turned.
Hunter skills kicking in. Everything like.
He has his back to you. He's walking towards that throne. You got a clear shot at him. And then you wouldn't have to worry about him anymore and whatever strange power has overtaken him.
No one will ever know.
Everything in my being and my characters tell me to just kill everything now.
Roll a dice, see what happens.
Yes,
Getting closer.
yeah, I mean, everything's tell you, but you could do it now. You could get it over with. You could escape. You could be out of here. You could go and find your daughter. Perhaps this thing would grant you a wish and would help you and resolve all your issues. But the longer you wait, the closer he gets to that throne, the chances like slipping through your fingers. You don't feel the same level of worry about your colleagues, Elnder or Eladin.
Yeah, he's not really. He doesn't really care if they betray him or not, because
No, because it doesn't matter, because you're protected, you're blessed. You're linked now to a being of such unimaginative power that you have nothing more to worry about. In fact, the world is yours for the taking. All you have to do is seize it.
yeah, so we've got to let everyone know, so that everyone can feel its cold, icy touch.
And as you step towards the throne, you can see the humanoid figure sat in the throne, covered in these vines. The vines around it start to like twitch and move. And you can see much thicker vines sort of slowly sliding out from the sides of the throne.
I'm going to shoot an arrow and fire it to not get the stone out of his hand.
Okay, give me an archery roll. Yes, you strike his hand, causing him an injury. So Eldon, you take an injury, and you drop the stone. But you're not in a daze or anything like that. As soon as you feel the pain, you know you've dropped it, and you look down, you can see it on the floor immediately below you.
Oh, clumsy me. He just pulls the arrow out of his hand and just picks it up.
As he bends down to pick it up, Runic, you can see beyond him two massive, thick, like tree trunk thick, tendril vines raise up on either side of the throne, poised as if they're serpents ready to strike.
I'm going to use sort of throw the glaive like a sort of like spinning guillotine to cut the vines as it does that, and I'm going to sort of run towards him to try and get the stone while throwing the glaive to try and knock the
Okay.
plants away or the vines away.
Do you have fighting or any other applicable skill for that?
Let's see.
Because it's
Peasant
quite.
said we'll cover some basic quick things. Hunter's not going to really do much for that. Archery only for the throw, possibly.
No, not for a glaive. No, it's not a weapon made for throwing. So you have one default. So,
We're ready to resort to violence or fiery, quick to anger, good at stunning a crowd.
your battle one will give you the dice for the trait, yes, and you'll have your default dice. That's all you have.
Right, so 2 dice then.
Yep. Don't forget to take fatigue. Okay, so your choice. You can either successfully slice one of the ivy tentacle tendrils, or you can get to the rock before Eldon does.
I'll get to the rock. I think I'll be better.
Okay, so you hurl the glaive. It goes wide. It doesn't hit the tendrils, but you do slide across the floor and snatch the rock just moments before Eldon reaches down and picks it up. Just at that moment, Eldon, you feel something thick, very thick, wrap around your waist.
I don't think you should have done that. Eldon's just ignoring the vine and just staring at you with his glowing reptilian eyes.
Yes, he's staring at you, and then a second later, he's yanked 10 feet in the air as this massive vine lifts him up by the waist. The second one darts out, or dives down towards you, Runic. What'd you do?
I'm going to try and fire the stone towards it.
Just throw the stone at it. Okay.
We'll throw the stone directly into the king, basically.
Onto the throne thing. Okay, so roll 2 dice for that.
No.
Yes, you throw the stone, it hits the mass of the figure on the throne, and the whole thing bursts into violet flame. The tendril that was holding Eldon drops him to the floor, and both of them shoot out and wrap themselves around you, one around your chest, one around your legs, and you can feel them stretching you, pulling you, well, trying to pull you apart, taking injury. Evander, what are you doing at this point? You come down the stairs or what?
Yeah, I've been headed down the stairs cautiously because I feel like someone's going to ambush me the whole way, and then headed back towards the main corridor. Also cautiously.
Yes, you're creeping down there. You can probably hear like some commotion going on. And then at a moment, all of the flowers and the vines that you can see in the hallway and the ceiling and the rest of it all sort of recoil. All the flowers close their petals and pull themselves inwards and back into the ice. Like just for a moment, everything is just kind of pulled back away. And at that moment, your paranoia just fades.
I was thinking that would happen too. Like the moment they pull back out, like snap out of it. So I think I'll take off sprinting towards the to where I left them at.
Sprinting towards the chamber you left them in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of like, what the hell was that? What was I thinking? And you realise how far into the delusions you really kind of sank in your head. Yeah, and you sprint up towards the main entrance, and you can see in there the throne, the figure there is completely ablaze with these purple flames. Eldon's on the floor, and you can see Runic being held by these massive tendrils.
Eldon still look reptilian, or did he change back after he lost connection to the stone?
I mean,
Sorry,
he's a bit of a distance away, maybe too close to really see his eyes properly, but he doesn't look demonic from here.
maybe it was the flowers messing with your mind.
Could be. I'll help Runic with the glaive. I think I'll try to cut one of them that's holding.
Sure.
I guess
do you
his
wanna give
leg.
Yeah, do you want to give him a roll your fighting?
Yeah.
At that point, what would happen if actually I'm just gonna stand up while he's doing that and walk towards the flaming throne.
Yeah, so you stand up and you walk towards the flaming throne. Evander, you just charge in with your glaive and slice the tendril in half, and it flops to the ground. Runic's like legs are let go, and he falls down, so he's standing on his feet. His chest still being held by the second one. But the tendril that you sliced open, from the sort of icy core of it, as it looks, 4 more like smaller tendrils start to grow out of it.
Fighting a Hydra tentacle? Like what?
Kind of it looks like, yeah. Although worse because it's 4, not 2.
Yeah, it's 4, not 2. Yeah. Huh.
But they're smaller, and it feels almost more like the head of a cuttlefish squid kind of vibe, because these ones are a lot more kind of wriggly than the larger ones.
I think I would ignore those 4 and still try to free Runic from the other one.
Eldon, as you step towards the flaming mass, the whole mass kind of like lifts itself up above the throne and pulls itself backwards behind the throne, well, above and behind the throne. You can just see a pair of long, thin legs dangling from beneath the massive vines.
Am I close enough to touch it still?
You can reach up and try touching the feet as it pulls itself up if you want.
Alright, I'm going to transform, or shapeshift.
Okay.
Would the shapeshift be any different since he's been kind of, I guess, corrupted by the rock?
I mean, I guess you wouldn't know until you tried. So where are you shapeshifting into?
The cave bear. I want to try to just bat the form back onto the throne and just crush it.
Sure. Yes, you start to like shapeshift and take form, but instead of taking the nice, clean, uniform shape of a bear, your bones start to like jut out at odd angles. The muscles that should be wrapped around the bone, encased in skin, are actually exposed and bloody. Your veins sort of like bulge and pop in all sort of awkward directions. Your eyes are misaligned. You have a kind of like half snout, half human mouth with fangs and then normal teeth mixed in together. Your tongue splits into 2 different tongues and waggles around strangely in your mouth. You find yourself just this misshapen, amorphous, mix of body parts and bear parts.
Alright, yeah, I'll just let out a howl of anger and rage. Just all the calm from before is just gone.
And this monstrous sounding gurgling roar attracts the attention of the other 2. And you see this hulking, just mutated beast sort of take shape. But you're still being held runic by the chest. What would you like to do?
Let's see.
Oh, and take a stress, Eldon.
Will I be able to sneak my dagger out to my hand so I can start cutting at it, or try and get my dagger?
I think you could do that, yeah.
I'll do it and start trying to cut myself out of the vine using that.
Sure, do you want to give me a roll with that? You got survivalist or just peasant maybe?
Peasant I've got.
Do you have a trait as well that applies? The battle one?
Just looking, part of battle probably.
Okay. 3 dice.
So I'd get 2 for peasant, 1 for the trait. And
Also 4 dice, yeah.
I'll lose 1 because I'm out of health now.
Okay.
So all the fatigue rolls are rolled there.
Yeah, I've got a health mark too now.
I'm about to get my second one.
Yeah, I mean, you managed to get the blade out and you're stabbing. But, I mean, it doesn't seem to have any effect. The thing doesn't seem to feel any pain, and your knife is so small, it's not able to, like, you know, cut through this thing's as wide as a tree trunk almost. You can feel it, like, tightening. You can feel your ribs beginning to crack and take another injury. Okay, Evander, what do you want to do now?
I was gonna help him since he didn't free himself. I guess I'll just keep trying to help him. So I guess I'll blast it with magic this time.
Okay, give me a roll. My god, there's failures now.
Used all our winnings.
I used all my good rolls already.
Sure. So you muster your magical energies, you throw out the bolt at it, it smacks against the thing, it takes like it dents like a chunk out of it, and it kind of like loses its integrity with the weight of him wrapped in one end of it, and it sort of flops over in one direction and releases its grasp on him as he kind of rolls out in the ground around you. But then the second tentacle that you neglected, the one with the 4 little wriggly bits on the end of it, seizes your arms and your legs and then hoists you up into the air.
Mother humper.
So who wants to do something now?
I wanna attack the in a fit of rage. Ellen's one's gonna attack the vine monster.
The heart of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So you've
I
got
guess-
your deformed, monstrous, mutated body.
Yeah, he swings his arm at it, and the arm just squelches and just somehow stretches out.
Yes, it's a
Like-
mixture of just muscle and sinew and claws and fingers. All misshapen and extending out in different directions. Do you have it's your transform skill you'd roll with?
No, I was just checking if any of my traits worked with this, but I guess the only one that would work would be foolhardy, since I'm not transforming back.
That's pretty good though, yeah. Yeah, you unleash and you find that your arm stretches far further than you would expect it to. So even as this massive vines recoils itself and tries to pull itself away up towards the ice glass ceiling, you can stretch and wind your way around it. You reach out with all these spindly long bear claws and the ends of these long fingertips and expose muscles, and you just sink your claws into it and start to tear and cut and eat your way through it. You have an eye kind of in the middle of your arm, and you can guide yourself through its body as you claw your way through the vines to the center mass, which is this long, slender woman with pale blue skin and long white hair encased in the center of it.
I just want to try to grab her and the stone.
Well, not the stone. The stone's just lying on the ground after it hit it.
Oh, okay. Then I just want to grab her out of it.
Yes, you grasp her in your claws and you yank her out of the mass. All the other vines and tendrils around the whole castle just sort of lose their grip, recede and pull back and fall into a sort of naturally dormant state. Runic and Evander are just left standing or crawling on the middle of the floor as the vines just sort of drop lifeless beside them. And you see this massive mutated creature holding this woman in its grasp.
Once it jogged me, I guess I would go for the stone, because now I don't trust either one of these people with the stone.
Yeah, you could easily just like run forward, roll across the ground, and snatch the pebble up from in front of the throne.
Evander, quickly throw it to me and I'll shoot the thing in the head. Try and get it to release the girl.
Let's see what this thing does first, because it's Eladin.
I don't know. You just know that it kind of showed up where he was.
Well, you might not be Eladin no more, but he was at one point. I can put two and two together that much, I'd assume.
All right. What do I do with the tiny fairy person?
I guess that's up to you. You got it in your clutches.
Yeah, you've got her clutches. She feels ice cold. She seems to be like asleep. She doesn't seem to be frozen.
I'm gonna hold her up in front of his face, and just roar at her.
I don't suppose you have like a willpower skill or anything like that, or a trait related to that.
Let's see. Calm or cunning?
Okay, let's go with your cam. So that's 2 dice that'll give you. Yes, you hold her in front of you, and your mind is just flooded with the demand of this elder god demanding sacrifice, and here is a prize worthy of its blessing. If only you would take this life in its honor, all you have to do is sink your teeth into her chest and eat her heart.
Yeah, so you just hear him let out a loud roar and then just start moving it towards its mouth.
Okay, now we can blast him. I guess that'd be like the first thing I do then. Just blast him with magic next.
Thought there was a big vine creature. Am I losing track somewhere? We got to still kill.
No, the vine creature died. When he ripped her out, it it fell apart or whatever. So now we got the big mutated Eladin who's holding the elf lady. Or
Yeah, I've
whatever
turned
she
into
is.
a man bear.
All right, I get the idea now. I was wondering for a wee second there. I thought I missed a step somewhere.
No, the monster. I mean, you were distracted. The monster is Eldon now, or was.
Yeah. I was gonna see what he was gonna do with the person, but now that he's like looking like he's about to bite her, I guess I'll just blast him with magic.
Yep, you give me a roll for that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do anything, Runic?
Fuck it, I'll push myself right
I
next to
think
him.
I'll run and sort of like with my goat legs and sort of like kick him. There's a big sort of high kick to try and knock him so he doesn't eat the girl.
Okay, so you give me 2 dice, 'cause that's your battle and your default.
And I rolled a
Yeah, a
magic.
crit, yeah. How many health tick injuries have you got there, Alex?
I got one. Oh, Alex, what's up? Okay. I'm almost at my second two now.
After that earlier, I am now at 2. So if I take that, I would get 2 injuries and be at 3 or 4.
Sure, so I guess that will give you the injuries. That will give you another health tick. Yes, you take a magic blast to the chest and then a hard goat kick to the groin, probably, causing you extreme pain and anguish, breaking your transformation spell, no longer to withhold it. And your body slowly and very painfully sort of pulls itself back into your human form, and you drop this woman's body just behind the throne. She sort of raises herself up behind the throne, now awake, holds her head as if she's in pain, disorientated. Where am I?
I'm gonna groan weakly from the floor. We've rescued you from a foul monster.
Aye, Who are you people? Where's my family? Father?
There wasn't anybody else here.
This place has been frozen for years. What's the last time you remember anything?
I don't. I don't recall the winter frozen. Who? What are you people? Why are you so small and fat?
Small and fat? How does that even work?
Alan just chuckles with a groan of pain.
She's clearly like taller and more slender than you all.
Small.
Her eyes like blaze this light icy blue color. Clearly she's full of magic as she like looks around you all. And she recoils in disgust from the sweaty bloody mass of Eldon who's lying beside her. Oh my lord! What is this creature?
What are you?
I'm Elandriel of the Fae, Queen of the Winter. What is this? What is this blasphemous creature that you've brought into my home? Where are my guards? Why have they allowed you in here?
There are no guards.
This place has been frozen for such a long time. In the middle of Regina Lake.
These two vile sorcerers turned me into this.
Oh, shut up, Eldon.
Let's whack him in the back of the head. I'm gonna whack him
Give them
like
another
a
injury.
peasant, not a slap. Don't give enough peasant to slap.
See, even now they try to make it worse.
None of you should be here. This isn't right at all.
Oh, excuse me if we don't listen to a lady who is trapped inside of a plant.
Trapped, but aye. And she looks, around the place of the mass of vines. No, this isn't right at all. These plants aren't supposed to entrap me. They're here to protect me.
Unfortunately, they entrapped you, and they've also cursed this whole entire place. No one will be able to get to this island or anything around here for years. We only stumbled in here by accident to the island, and in doing so, we've managed to sort of fight our way through this place to find yourself here.
Yes, a noble giant sacrificed himself to help us rescue you.
Yes, sacrificed himself.
She raises her eyebrow. She's like, the keeper? The keeper is dead?
Oh, he
Yes,
said.
unfortunately.
He said. Oh, actually, I don't know what he said. Did I? I wasn't there for that conversation. I ran away.
It showed us the way here, and then suddenly it was destroyed when trying to come through the castle, it looks like.
But what kind of dark magic could slay the keeper?
I
I don't know.
wonder.
I'm assuming whatever kind of magic had him frozen solid.
This thing? Then why did you bring it here?
What thing? Is he talking about Eldon?
Yeah, she's pointing at Eldon, yeah.
Huh.
Don't ask me, the giant trusted him.
So she's going to start glowing magic at her fingertips, and she looks very defensive now and fearful of Eldon, whatever he is, or whatever is emitting from him.
Maybe you could use your great magic to restore me to my true form.
I would suggest you not do that.
Is that what you've come to ask of me? That
No,
I say
that's not.
cure you?
Oh no, I have something else to ask.
Says it's just you shut up and leave this room now.
Then speak, creature. What is it you ask of me? Why have you intruded in my home in this way?
We need you to help us summon the Black Winter.
What? No. What?
What are you talking about?
Isn't that what we're on a quest for?
No.
No! We were asked to help find the eldest lost children originally.
Oh, sorry. I'm getting sidetracked by the side stories, aren't I?
Side stories? What side stories?
All I remember is which from last time talking about Black Winter and how we needed to stop it or something.
He's too confused, man, because he's like corrupted and shit, man. His
I also
mind's-
rolled out of 2.
his mind's like fraggled, man.
One time we roll a 6, by the way. Just remember the one time we roll a 6.
I don't know if I'm gonna wait.
There you go. I rolled 6.
The Black Winter. Why would you want such a thing?
We don't want. Don't listen.
What?
He's nobody. He's nobody.
He's a crazy man. Don't ask how he got when getting attacked. He went even worse and crazier.
Maybe you can help me summon those who lurk beneath the ice.
You just shut up and get out of this room now before I hit you again.
I'm a bloody mangled corpse on the floor. I cannot move.
You can see
Yeah,
like
this is true.
you
This
see, like,
is true.
ice just like forming all over her to like encase her, and forming a kind of like spiky iced crown in her hair as the energy sort of like pulsates around her. She's clearly like regaining any kind of power that she'd lost when she was asleep.
He rolled a 6, so that's my magic shot to kill him.
Right. So you're just gonna.
Oh, I'm surprised she hasn't killed me already for
So you're
just asking her to summon the Black Winter.
Okay, so you're just gonna strike at him with a mage bolt.
Yeah, like point blank to the face.
Okay, so you're gonna take 3 injuries in that case.
Me?
Eldon.
I'm at 4 health ticks now.
As you're blasted with a bolt of concussive power, it sends you, spinning across the room, slamming into a pillar. The woman turns to you. Evander, why would you bring such a creature here if only to strike him down?
Because he wasn't always so crazy until the last couple of minutes. The Black Winter. I don't even know what's wrong with him anymore.
What has cursed him in such a way?
I saw at the stone. Maybe she'll understand what that is.
A strange artifact. It is not of this world. It certainly does not belong here.
Frozen a village and mountain full of people. So back further south, sort of west of here. I don't know if it's corrupted even further than that.
Yeah, he touched whatever like the main object of this was, and then he started talking about these people under the ice, and now he wants to summon the Black Winter. And
Everyone shall be encased in ice and live forever.
She walks over to you and almost has a look of pity in her face as she looks down on you. And she looks over to the 2 of you. I can put him out of his suffering if you desire.
does that mean dead? Does she mean dead?
Maybe
She
not.
means-
Let's find out.
But I suppose for awakening from my slumber, I can grant you a favour if you ask one of me.
Well, we can put him out of his misery ourselves. Let's not waste our favor on that.
She shakes her head and she says, I did not mean to end his life. I meant to remove or at least subside the corruption that has tainted his soul.
How do you even do something like that?
I would use my own
Try help.
energies to cleanse the corruption that is within his blood. It will be a painful process, but it's one that he would survive.
You give us a moment to discuss.
I'm me looking at Runic. Aren't you kind of like cursed too, buddy?
No, I'm not cursed. I'm just technically yes, I am cursed. My curse is basically more physical, I'd say, than mentally wanting to destroy the world.
And she walks over to you, Runic, and just gently caresses your goat hairs with her hand. Yes, I can see the corruption with you as well. I'm afraid I do not have the means to treat both of you. But if you would ask it of me, I could grant one of you a favour.
Or she could always grant Evander's wish.
What, turn my luck around?
It has turned around. You just that.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go put him out of his misery. We'll make this choice easy. Don't worry, buddy. I got you. I'm gonna pat Runic on the shoulder. You ain't gotta make this choice.
Will this be the time when Eladin tries to make his escape while no one's paying attention to him?
I mean, you can try to, yeah.
All right, let's see if I can escape with this low dice.
How are you escaping? What is it you're doing?
I was gonna turn into like a worm and just burrow through the ground.
Okay. Do you know when to turn into a bird and fly away?
I guess I could do that. I only have 1 dice though from all the injuries.
Yeah, I didn't think it was likely. Yes, you try to muster the magical energy, but you are drained, depleted. And it's just not happening for you.
Alright, sorry, buddy. You shouldn't have touched the stone. I think I'll just end you there.
With his last breath, he curses you.
She's offering you the opportunity to save him, though.
I can only save one of them, and one of them's not as crazy as the other.
Yeah, Eladin was already pretty crazy before he touched the rock too.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I haven't forgotten that your giant tried to eat Norman.
Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna curse you. Yeah, before I die, he's just gonna muster the last of his life force and just curse you to everything you love will die.
You're not the first one to curse me.
It doesn't work. I just wanted Norman to die in the next session.
He might still die in the next session. You might get your wish. Who knows?
No, I rolled a 1 though. He has good luck now.
We'll see. I might just curse myself. Who knows?
Are you okay with
Yeah, I
him
think I'll just-
killing you like this, Alex?
I'll just use the glaive to cut his head off. You know.
I had a feeling he was gonna die in this session. I just didn't know how yet.
Because if you're not comfortable with your character dying at this point, I have alternatives here.
He says, "I have alternative."
All right, give me my options.
So,
Options.
I mean, he's intending on slaying you, so he'll come over, stick the glaive through your skull or whatever it is to kill you. But you are like blessed by this dark elder god, so there are ways for you to survive on.
Yeah, I mean he's made a deal with pretty much every powerful being he's run across so far.
Yeah, and you gave her a great offering, all the rest of it. So that can happen. She can also, save you. So, you don't have to die here if you don't want to.
I got it. How about somehow he becomes one of the bodies trapped in that mountain turn into him, and he just falls out of the ice as taken over that body. So he's alive, but they just don't know he's alive yet.
Yeah, but then you're not going to be with them.
I know, but he'll be. It can be something we can do. If there's time, we can do something with it later.
Oh, I was just going to have like your body sort of like starts like knitting itself together, and you come back, obviously like full embodiment of the eldritch power.
Oh, so they have to fight me then?
So it's no, I mean you come back, you're still you at the party and stuff, but it's just like the eldritch power is now part of you, and it is what has given you life and kept you alive.
Oh, so you're a puppet now, just like all the puppets you brought to life.
All right, sure. Yeah, he just becomes he's basically just a ghost controlling his body.
Yeah. So we could give you a special trait like Eldritch or something like that. Or is there not one blessed by the gods? or
There is.
something.
Yeah.
You got touched by the guards or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a trait blessed by.
Yeah, so I mean, you could come back with that trait, and it's the Eldritch God that's like blessed you, touched you.
I touched by gods, blessed by the gods, and if they actually exist, so you do know they exist technically, like me.
Yeah. So although Evander kills you in this moment, when they make camp, your body's just going to kind of heal itself, and when they wake up in the morning, you're like sitting there by the campfire, almost as if nothing has happened.
All right, there you go. His new trait is touched by something.
But for the time being, you know, he's dead in this room. So what do you guys do then?
How do I process that happens? That's going to be interesting.
I'm just looking at it, he says, you took the kill.
You were taking too long.
I thought I had some. He did save me at least once. That's the only reason why, maybe.
Does the fairy notice anything? Or does
She
she just
looks
think
at
it's
your body
normal?
for a moment. You know, maybe she's got an inkling of what may or may not happen, but she's still trying to put together like what exactly's happened to her and how long she's been here and who these people are and what the intention is. Although her power is returning, you know, she's not at her full capabilities. Yes, I mean, she turns to you too. I guess I should thank you for awakening me and disposing of this creature.
I assume I will just wave her off and like walk to the side because it's like Runik's chance here to find out about his kid or get himself fixed, whatever his goal is here.
Well, my child's dead. I mean, if there's a way to resurrect her, that would be something he'd possibly pursue.
Right, but
But he
like
tried to
you,
obviously.
you like go on bent on revenge because his one thing didn't do its job, like to revive her or whatever the first time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so he's kind of very untrusting of trying to revive her now because this is what happened to him in trying to revive her. He got turned into this half goat creature thing.
Right, but like when I say like get information about your daughter or what, I don't mean like revive her. Maybe you want to know more about this thing that didn't hold us into the deal or something.
Good point, actually.
Yeah, so what is it you want to ask her? Or ask of her?
If you can tell me how to find or how I can find and how to destroy the creature that cursed me.
So she closes her eyes and lays two of her fingers on your forehead. And you can feel just like a sort of cold chill go through your optical nerves into your brain. You start reliving the moments of what happened as you kind of like shoot through your memories back in time. And the face, the voice, the emotions of the moment are crystallized and clarified as if it's happening in real time to you again. And those moments kind of like swirl and freeze so that you can really take in what happened and who it was and to identify it. And then your mind is like taken across the landscape through all these lava geysers in this massive ice field. You dive underground through the ice in the ocean, and then you come up again, erupting through this magma, this massive volcano. And you can see around you a black charred landscape covered in these scaly little red reptilian creatures that are all chanting the name of the creature that cursed you. And in that moment, you know that Thraza Karaz is the creature, the demon, the entity that brought this curse to you and took your daughter from you. And it lies to the south where it's been worshipped.
Sort of anger sort of just hit the floor in the sense and rage and rethinking it all again and in tears.
And the woman herself is also crying, and she sheds a tear, which turns to a little icicle on the end of her fingers. I'm sorry for your pain and your loss.
Not as much as that creature will be. I will get my revenge for this. I look at Evander and I says, I know we have we've been asked to do another quest. But I would ask for your help if we end up to this level, to this place. I would ask your help in trying to slay this creature. I haven't much left in this world, but I give everything I have for you to help me do it.
Well, I mean, I gotta keep you quiet somehow. I did just kill a guy.
You probably did your village a favor.
Probably, but you know, yeah. Like let's just make it to the last outpost, find out what we can, and then we can go from there. Who knows? Maybe we gotta head that way anyways, or whichever way you need me to head.
You type in Discord like the name and the
Yeah,
place
yeah,
where
yeah,
it was.
yeah. I'll give you the
Note of it.
details.
It's the Kobold Worship Mountain place he's talking about. I remember the name.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yes.
Vasilikar's
Yeah.
mound.
Yeah, Thazarkar's Mound. Yeah. So what now, elf lady or fairy lady, whatever she is?
Just please take this thing, and she just like nudges the body of Eldin with her foot. Take this thing with you and be gone from my lands. I have much to remember and restore.
You might have a big fancy castle, but when people find out that you're here, it won't be alone for long.
She's like people, so she's trying to figure out exactly what you mean by that.
I'm gonna like gesture towards myself. I'm a person. I'm a people.
She nods. I shall take it under consideration. But you
Now she's just
require.
gonna refer to. Is she just gonna refer to humans as people now?
But you will
Yeah,
require a passage from my lands, undoubtedly. And she like walks past you out of the castle to like the front gate, where she like looks across the landscape, and then holds out one hand and just breathes across it, and a path melts from the castle, leading out to the south. She indicates to you, follow the path, and it will take you away from here.
the south. We gotta go
Thank you.
to the east, don't we?
Well, I mean, this land is not what it's kind of supposed to be, because it's obviously magical of some description.
This is true. This is true.
So she's just indicating like this is the way to get out of here, to leave in the shortest way possible.
It'll help us get to shore basically and somewhere safe.
Yeah, and imagine
so-
you can then like bind up the body, the corpse of Eldin to take with you,
Oh yeah, we can throw it back of the canoe.
not knowing that it is like already kind of like stitching together its internal organs and stuff.
So we're just gonna
Questions?
leave her here, and maybe she'll turn back into the plant thing, and other people might die, or who knows what happens.
Who knows? Yeah.
I'm not sure, do we take the stone or not? Let's take the stone.
You know what?
Well, she wants you to
everything
take
is
stone.
problem.
She doesn't want that left here.
Take what? The stone?
The stone, yeah, she doesn't want that left here. She advises you to throw it into the heart of a volcano and destroy it.
That's noted.
Well, this little bitty rock, that would only be a part of it.
Do you toss it into the canoe?
Hell no, thing ain't leaving my pocket.
Till we get the mount to the mounts at Thanagar, I mean Mordor, I mean
You
Yeah,
just feel it twitching in your pocket, trying to get towards where his body is.
Yeah.
I think at this point we need to try and make safe camp now.
Well, I think we can call it there and we can do camp and stuff like that when we start next time and figure it out. Because usually make camp and then he's going to wake up and be like, hey, why am I wrapped up in this canvas?
I've never met a more rude person. We just risk our lives freeing her. Now she's kicking us out. Don't even give us time to rest, to make camp, nothing.
All these extra rooms she's got.
He
It's not
just
like you
wakes
should
up yelling, "That was fun."
But when he wakes up, I mean, you're going to obviously that was like a whole bunch of stuff sort of having influence on you. When you wake up, you're going to feel like more in control of yourself than you did. Although the thing is like a part of you now, it's a part of you that you're in control of and comfortable with. Probably because you are like more it than you are you.
I'm gonna shit my pants when you wake up too. Like, oh my god, you really are cursing me. You came back to haunt me.
I'm just imagining he's basically just some kind of eldritch spirit possessing his own body.
Yeah, and I mean you're going to be next to useless until you get some rest time anyway. Or actually, do you know what might make more
health
sense?
heals.
Yeah, it might make more sense that you actually take the whole week to recuperate and heal before you come back. So they're pulling your body around for like a week before you wake up,
Okay.
and then that will also give you one of your health ticks back, so you're not completely useless. If you want to play it that way, not have to.
That's fine. We'll see what happens next time.
And we need to find a good place to safely camp. Well, technically, if she sends us to the edge of the island itself is safe because there's
Yes.
nothing there because she's just doing that.
Yeah.
So we could easily rest up there quite happily for a week and just
Yeah,
fucking
that's fine. We'll do that at the start of next one. You can do the road stuff, resting up and get supplies and stuff before you do the next leg of the journey across the lake to the town, the outpost. If that suits everyone.
I think that
Works for
suits
me.
well, yeah. We can use all these funny XP we got actually.
Yeah, I've been at max like half a session.
I was max pretty early. I took Dragon's Luck this time.
Yeah, I mean, all three of you can do the level up just now if you want.
Just I think what's a good one to level up now at this point. There's no point taking new skills, I think, at this point.
Oh, I mean, I think there's always new skills, maybe not. Yeah.
I think you'd be best off thinking about what you're gonna need to get your revenge.
Probably lore master more because I've gained more knowledge now, and also then if I do more lores roles like going around towns, and I've got a name now, so I can find more information.
There's that, yeah. And if you get another level, I might want to think about Dungeoneer because we are going to a volcano. Maybe there might be like a bunch of caves or something.
True.
Yeah, that's a good point. Since he's technically not alive anymore, can he still shapeshift? Or should I change shapeshift into something else?
You can still do transformation, but I guess it's going to be a different. Like, when you're not just going to take form of a bear, it'd probably be like some sort of hideous demonic bear creature.
Should I just change it into like alter self and instead he just like tentacles or stalactites are up from him?
If you want to do it that way, sure. That's quite thematic. Yeah, so you're like, oh god, what was that video game? It wasn't Prototype, was it? You played as like this monster.
Darkness or something?
That's kind of like.
Are you talking about the one where
yeah.
it's like you're possessed by a monster, or like the disease one?
I think it was Prototype, and he like he's got like big monster arms and shit like that stretched out.
Yeah, that's Prototype.
Yeah, like that one. That's what I'm thinking anyway.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because I mean, you could add, if you're comfortable with dying, you could add your character die and then just have a different character they encounter in the outpost when they get there. But if you're not ready for a character to die, it's also quite interesting to come back as this thing, which is even creepier.
Yeah, I feel like it'd be more fun to have him come back as just some kind of terrifying cult leader monster.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have killed you, but like twice in a session, you like kill me, and then you're like, I rolled a 6, you can kill me. And I was like, that's the third time, so I'm just gonna do it. Like I said, I've never killed another person in a game before, so
I'm ready to make a new character if I have to. It'll be fun.
Okay. You've not got a taste of killing somebody that like kill shots like me. Welcome to my world.
Well, actually, I tell you what might be a good way to do it then. Like, you are making a new character because you're changing the spell and stuff like that, but we're just playing it as a kind of continuation of the character that you were. Even mechanically, you're like a new character. So you can have like different spells and stuff like that because your abilities have changed.
Yeah, because he's not using nature and or some sick abomination
No.
based off nature.
Yeah, no. Now you're like some eldritch reincarnation. So yeah, I mean that makes
Alright,
more
so
sense to play it that way.
would I restart with just the 10 skill points then, or the 12 skill points, or would he keep all his levels?
I think you reset because you're a new character, so you lose your levels. But you did have a level up, so you can have like one level up.
What traits would I lose, or which ones would I keep? Would be better to ask.
Well, I mean, you just build it as if you're building a new character, so you can give yourself a different
Okay.
trait, something that's more fitting
His
to what you
trait would
think are.
it'd probably have to be like touched by the gods or something.
Well, I'd say keep touched by the gods just thematically, and then you can have your starter one.
All right.
Yeah, that's cleaner doing it that way, I think.
You give yourself a new name. Can be Vander the Undead.
Well, he's got the same name, but yeah. Or he might wake up and he's like, I don't know, my name
I'm
is.
Eladin.
Woke up and forgot his name is.
I have many names. Yeah, that episode went a different direction from what I thought it might.
This whole campaign's going a complete direction I thought it would be.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm having fun though.
That's the important thing, as long as it's fun and
I had
interesting.
to have the switch. I had the urge that I could shot him and killed him multiple times.
I know. I was hoping you'd do it. I wouldn't have to. You're taking so long though.
I felt like it's been fair, so I thought I'd like rather than me deciding that I'm just going to randomly do it, I'll do a dice roll.
I think
Let it
randomly
decide.
doing it is really just chickening out though, because you're not making a decision. You know what I mean? You're saying it's fairer. I think it's less fair because you're not making like a character-based decision. You're just leaving it to dice roll.
When I go with
Why?
generous as a starting trait.
Character-wise, you mean he does normally would kill in every part of his thing would kill, but he does it because he's been a comrade and he's helped and supported him. It's like sort of he has that sort of reluctance.
Yeah, in which case you'd be reluctant to do it. But at some point you might just kind of like, okay, he's a monster. I'm going to put him out of his misery.
That's why I got. That's the point I made it to. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, at that point it was like, yeah, we just need to get it out.
I mean, ideally you don't kill your party member and you find a different way to save them or, you know, whatever. But it's also difficult when your party member is intent on becoming a monster.
Listen, I'm all about trying to save people. Like this is the first time I've ever killed a party member, but yeah. He was like,
I
"Oh,
have a
I'm
feeling this campaign won't be the last.
the cult of the ice dwellers and sacrifice." I was like, "He's gotta die." He's a
Oh, it's oh hell no.
I asked if you wanted to join. Alright, so I'm
Come join the
thinking
dark side. We have cookies and cake.
Persuader, Commander, Fighter, and
Oh god, so he's just
then
going to
the
recruit
alter
people
self.
now.
And Freeze.
God, he's going to come out of that town with like a cult of a dozen people following him.
No,
Oh, no, not
army.
I'm gonna use enchant, not freeze. It's gonna be great.
God, I'm even more worried about this character. He's channeled these abilities into a purpose now.
all I'm saying is he looks like
We
no
walk
one's
into
funny.
the
I'll kill him a second time.
We'll start taking turns. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Alright, it's my turn to kill him this time. Let's go.
Okay.
Alright, yes, I went with Persuader, Commander, Enchant, the Alter Self one, and Fighter.
Oh yeah, that sounds dangerous.
God. I can see it now. Come and join the dark side. I command you to.
Wait, what happened to the cookies? We got rid of those a long time ago.
I think this was session 6, so I think we might have another 2 or 3 sessions. Yeah, I think something like that is going to work out as time wise.
I think we're
Yeah.
pretty. It'll work out fine. We're close to the end, or you know.
Yeah. I'm just kind of gauging how far off, but yeah, I think another 2 or 3 sessions should do it. Because we need to
Right.
resolve the Therazaka, or whatever it's called. Thrazakaras.
Thrasilcar? Thrasilkaz or Thrasilcar or Thrasilakar?
The big
Uh,
bad dragon thingy.
Alright, but yeah, so I went with Persuader 3, Commander 2, Enchant 3, and Alter Self 3, and then Fighter 2. And then Generous and Touched by Something.
Generous.
Generous. He's generous. Jesus Christ.
I bestow my gifts upon you all, children.
Yes, he's willing to give to his followers.
Oh my God.
I give those followers a nice peaceful rest they'll never get awake from.
It'll be interesting. Which is the most important part. Yeah, this poor town
get
is
to
never
town.
going to recover.
At least we might find the older brother there, and then we just got to figure out what happened to the younger brother. That's it.
Maybe the older brother already knows. Maybe he's drinking himself into a stupor. You know, his younger brother ran into some other dark cult. He's now frozen in ice somewhere.
That's a bit predictable, perhaps. But yeah, that was I think I ran on a bit longer than I intended to.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
we usually end it like an hour ago, don't we?
Yeah, they went a bit longer. I was a bit cautious of that one. Cool. Okay, well that was good anyway, guys. I'll get you guys next time.
Catch you later.
Alright. Alright, later.
See you.